Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TA Cotton Ford Stadium. I'm Bentley Love, and with me tonight is special guest Archer O'Neal and Matthew Middleton manning the cameras. Tonight is homecoming, where the Greenville Lions will be taking on the Poteet Pirates. Greenville comes into this game off a 42-20 loss to the Crandall Pirates, while the Poteet Pirates are coming off a 50-7 loss to the Melissa Cardinals. The Pirates are headed up by QBs Josh Hobbs and Caleb Laura, running back Aaron Tinsley, and wide receiver Jaden Walker. Archer, we know some of the big names for the Pirates, but who sticks out to you on the Lions side of the ball?
You know, I see two speedy guys, one on defense, one on offense. Daniel Renner on defense has hawked down so many people, and Dadrian Payton, the receiver, is just a great guy who's got plenty of yards on the season this year.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, both those guys are big difference makers for the Lions, and the more the Lions can get them involved, the better this game's going to go for them, I think.
Absolutely.
So last season, the Mesquite Poteet Pirates beat the Lions 29-27 on a last-second field goal. However, since then, the Pirates are 0-9. Greenville, being 2-4 this season, are really looking to get a much-needed win tonight, while Poteet is looking forward to hopefully a similar result from last season, as they are 0-6 on the season. Last week, despite the Lions' loss, they were led by Anthony Johnson, who had a total of 333 yards, 104 on the ground, and 229 through the air. Archer, we know Johnson is a big part of the Lions' offense, but what is the key, in your opinion, for the Lions to come out on top tonight?
You know, I think whenever we distribute the ball around, you know, when our receivers are all getting catches and our running backs are running really well, I think we just turn out really great.
Yeah, I would agree. And, you know, Poteet, though their record is not all that great, when you're really playing any team, would you agree with me when I say you got to establish the run game early so that way you can open up the passing game later?
Absolutely. When they expect the run, you throw it deep. When
Yeah.
they expect that pass, they're already ready for it.
Well, and the Lions definitely have several guys in Peyton and Fifield that can really just go down and get the ball. And Johnson definitely, as we saw last week, has the arm to get it there. Talking about Johnson's arm, what are some of his stats looking like so far this season?
You know, this season in district play, I've seen he's gotten about 570 yards. I don't know about the full season stats, but in district, 570 yards, going 34 for 76, racking up 7 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. And, you know, a lot of people talk about Johnson's running, but I really do feel like his passing is a little bit underrated. I mean, 570 yards through the first several district games, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, you know, I see a little bit of Cam Newton into him. Whenever he's running the ball all the time, he just happens to have a cannon of an arm that is well in use all the time.
Well, and it really makes the defense have to respect the run, knowing he can get away with it, but also have to respect the passing game because he can burn you that way too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to talk to David Diggs a little bit earlier this evening in the parking lot, class of 88. And as a matter of fact, class of 88 is having their 35th class reunion in the before the game today, cooking hamburgers and all kinds of fun before they come into the game. But the topic of our conversation was he went to the Lions Dad thing, which I know Bob Muty, who's typically in the booth with me, has mentioned quite a bit. But unfortunately, he's not with us tonight. But I was able to talk to David a little bit and find out a little bit about what happened this morning. And he said that this morning, David Griffin, the pastor at Sea Life over in McKinney, from when Randy was a coach over there, he came and he was the speaker at the Lions Dad breakfast this morning. And they talked a lot about persevering on despite what has happened in the past. So don't dwell on the past and really focus on the game at hand. And I really felt like that was something good for him because despite a decently big loss last week, this is a very winnable game for the Lions, and they just got to make sure they keep their head up and stay focused on the task at hand.
Absolutely. I think when you look at the game last week and even the game against Poteet last year, I really think you could think, oh, man, we're going to lose, it's going to be a tough game. But if you just put your head down and fight, I think we've got it in the bag already.
Yeah, and, you know, that's one of the big things about if you just go down and you focus on what's headed up before you, don't think about the big picture, you can ultimately come out on top.
Coach Jackson's friend from Germany is on YouTube right now, and he's saying hello from Germany.
All right. Well, I don't know if y'all heard that, but one of the guys that was on a few weeks ago as a special guest at halftime, he's a coach over in Germany. A real good friend of Coach Jackson is tuned in and making sure to listen ahead of this big game between the Lions and Poteet. Well, folks, it feels like the weather's finally breaking, and it's a great day for some football. Archer and I will be back in a little bit, and we'll have the homecoming presentations for y'all after a quick message here from GEUS.
Introducing the new, better, fast GEUS commercial internet, the ultimate accelerator for your success. With speeds up to 500 megabytes, your productivity will soar to new heights. Power up your operations with GEUS's reliable and hometown service. Join the future of businesses' connectivity with GEUS's commercial internet. Visit our website at www.geus.org or call 903-457-2800 to supercharge your connection.
Welcome back to TA Cotton Ford Stadium with Bentley Love and Archer O'Neill. While we have a few more minutes, figured we'd go ahead and let y'all know what's going on around the district. So, Archer, why don't you let us know what the matchups are looking like?
Yeah, so we've got a good hand of matchups tonight. We've got Melissa versus Denison, which we know Melissa, coming in number 1 ranked in 5A. Looks like they could really do some damage, but Denison's a good team we've seen, so should be a fairly good matchup. And then we've got Crandall and Lovejoy, both very good records this season. Crandall at 4-2 and Lovejoy at 5-1 on the season. So as I said about the last game, anything can happen. Anything could shake up this district. As we know, it's a very difficult district. And lastly, Princeton versus Terrell. And we've seen Princeton. We haven't seen what Terrell's got in the bank this year, but we know Terrell was good last year, and they look good this year at a 4-2 record. And so I feel like it's going to be competitive around the district as well as our game here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And, looking at this, it's pretty interesting because, obviously we expect Melissa to be in, being the number 1 team in the state. And Lovejoy probably going to make it in too. But it's really going to be a big fight between Crandall, Terrell, and Denison to see who gets those last 2 playoff spots. But I think most likely it's going to be Terrell for sure and probably Crandall. But Denison, like Archer said, is could be a potentially really good team, and they've shown they're pretty good, and they just gotta focus at the task at hand and keep on moving. So, lots of alumni in the building tonight, being homecoming and everything, and it's always cool to see all the different people from all the different classes, and a lot of people come in wearing T-shirts that have their class on them, which is always interesting to see. So here in just a minute or two, I believe we're going to have the pregame festivities for y'all, and we will be sure and get all that in the audio for you, so they'll let us know who all's on the court and who ends up winning Mr. and Miss GHS. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Homecoming King and Queen. So we see a few of them out there on the track now, and actually quite a few of them. So they'll be coming through here pretty quick and walking out on the field.
Yeah, I wasn't lucky enough to make it on the court any of my years, but did you?
I never made it on the court either, but I was on the sideline for the last year taking pictures. So.
Well, we're all special in our own ways.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Those high school days, they're fun, and you gotta enjoy them. It's a different world out there, especially once you graduate and everything. But we see a bunch of guess you could say little lines running out onto the field. So I imagine they're going to be running out there, and then here in a second we'll see the court heading out onto the field. And that'll all be announced and everything, so we get all those names for you. It looks like the national anthem might be sung tonight by the GHS choir. We'll find that out for sure here in a little bit, but that's what it's looking like, is they've got some mics down there on the track. So, you know, Archer, they know a little bit about me, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're, where you're going to school and what you're majoring in?
Yeah, I'm going to Texas A&M University at Commerce. I'm an English major, as I plan to be a high school English teacher and a soccer and or football coach.
That'll be good. Yeah, I bet you'll really enjoy that. And, you know, especially being on the team, you were on football all 4 years and soccer all 4 years too, right?
Yes, sir. I was varsity football for 3 and varsity soccer for all 4.
You know, I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard something. Somebody said that one day in practice you hit a 55 or 60-yarder. Is that true?
That's a little bit of a stretch. I hit a 50 once, and then I hit a 52. And 52 was my max.
That's pretty dang good in high school. There's a lot of pro guys who can't even hit that.
Yeah, I was very consistent. Not as good at distance was my thing, though.
Yeah, well, that's all right. You know, it's good to have a good, consistent kicker. It's nice to know that when you go to him, you're not guaranteed, because nothing's guaranteed, but you're looking at a pretty good shot at coming home with some points.
Absolutely, and I've actually seen that in Nick Just this year. I feel like every time we walk out with Nick Just to kick a PAT, I feel like it's hopefully a guarantee that it goes in.
Yeah, you know, I don't have the exact numbers, but he's been pretty much automatic all season, which has been really good to see. And, you know, they had you, of course, but that's something the Lions haven't always had, is a real automatic kicker. So it's extra good when you can get that.
Oh, yeah, of course. And last year he filled in for a game whenever I was injured. And, man, that is the most stressed I've ever seen a kid. And so to see him now from where he was, it's good for him. I think he's doing real well.
He's a junior this year, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so he was a sophomore, and I bet he was a little stressed, but I know he's definitely enjoying getting to handle all the kicking duties this year.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're going to go ahead and go on down to the field here in just a second, and they're going to start walking out all of the homecoming court nominees and everything, and so we're going to go ahead and go down to that, and me and Archer will be back with you here in just a few minutes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our cheerleaders and our young cheerleaders will perform their presentation that they learned at their recent clinic. Drums get set for Great job, great job. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is homecoming here at Greenville High School, and we want to recognize the class of 1988. 35 years coming through the tunnel at this time. Short fight. Short fight. students to the left of you. High schoolers, back in your spot. You're not getting water right now. Back upstairs, go. Stop walking around. We have stuff to do right now. Get in your spot and stay there.
Chill.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The game tonight is homecoming at Greenville High School. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our homecoming court and crown our homecoming king and queen. Representing the freshman class of Greenville High School, Chloe Jones and Nicholas Gonzalez. And Brooklyn Martinez and Emmanuel Salazar. Nicole Gonzalez is the daughter of Rebecca Martinez and Candido Gonzalez. She's involved in the band, Glee Club, and the Interact Club, Solar Car, and Robotics. Nicole Gonzalez. Chloe Jones. Chloe is the daughter of Chloe Jones and Carl Trailer. Chloe is a member of the Lion Pride Band, the Key Club, and a member of the Early College High School. Her outside activities include church, and she enjoys art. Chloe Jones. Emmanuel Salazar, the son of Lupito Salazar and Altimo Salazar. Emmanuel is a member of the Greenville High School Lions soccer team. He is also a club soccer player and is active with community service. He is escorted this evening by Brooklyn Martinez. Brooklyn Martinez, the daughter of Nicole Martinez and Juan Martinez. Brooklyn is a member of the Lady Lions volleyball team and the Lady Lions soccer team. For outside and school activities, she enjoys volunteering for coaching youth sports. She is escorted this evening by Emmanuel Salazar. Brooklyn Martinez. Sophomore representatives, Brooklyn Sampson, Campbell Pitt, Asta Usal, and Jude Walker. Asta, the daughter of Newman Busal and Deborah Busal. Asta is a member of the Key Club, the Student Council, and the Greenville High School Lions soccer program. Her outside of school activities include volunteering for the community, tutoring young kids, and traveling. She's escorted this evening by Jude Walker. Jude Walker, the son of P. and Holly Walker. Jude is involved in soccer, Greenville High School band, drumline, Key Club, and Student Council. His outside of school activities include club soccer and is an active member of Cross Point Fellowship Church. He's escorted this evening by Asta Busal. Jude Walker. Brooklyn Sampson. Brooklyn, the daughter of Olivia and Jonathan Sampson. She's a member of the Greenville High School Flaming Flashes. She is is involved in athletics, playing softball, and on the powerlifting team. Her outside of school activities include club soccer, and she is a member of her church. She's escorted this evening by Camo Pitts, Brooklyn Sampson. Camo Pitts, the son of Cynthia and Jason Pitts. Camo is the vice president of the Greenville High School FFA. He is a church youth leader, and he shows steers for FFA. He is escorted this evening by Brooklyn Sampson. Camo Pitts.
High school isn't brought water, now's the time.
Representing our junior class, Miranda Nahara and PJ Nassif. Abigail Martinez and Alexander Jesus Guerrera Vasquez. Miranda, the daughter of Selma Robles and Jose Luis Navarra, is a varsity soccer player for the Greenville Lions. She's part of the cosmetology program. She's also a social officer for the Greenville High School classes. She's escorted this evening by PJ Nassif. Miranda Nahara. PJ Nassif. PJ is the son and stepson of Andrea Lynn and Marcus Holmes. PJ is a member of the junior Greenville High School cosmetology program and a member of the oldest drill team in the world, the Greenville High School training classes. She's escorted this evening by Miranda Nahara. Trinity Washington. Trinity is the daughter of Tracy and Anthony Holland. Trinity is a member of the varsity volleyball team, the Greenville High School Youth Council, and is a member of the varsity track team. Trinity enjoys hanging with her best friend, enjoys playing club volleyball, and watching movies. She's escorted this evening by Jose Yepes. Trinity Washington. Jose Yepes. Mother of Edith Yepes and stepson of Steve Munoz. Jose is a member of E-Club, the National Society. He's a woodwind captain in the band, and he's a member of the Ag Mechanic Build-Off team, and a member of the FFA, and he runs SAE. Outside of school, Jose enjoys trail biking, and he owns his own business, J&M Landscaping. He's escorted this evening by Trinity Washington, Jose Yepes. Also representing the junior class, Abigail Martinez. She is the daughter of Espita Martinez and Augustin De Nova. Outside of school, she enjoys helping her family and reading. Abigail Martinez De Nova. Also representing the junior class, Alexander Guerrero. The son of Sandra Guerrero and Enrique Guerrero. Alexander enjoys working on cars and spending time with his family. For Alexander Guerrero.
She's so confident. And she puts literally all the females. You wanna know why? Because she's gay. So she literally every single girl underneath her fucking thumb, dude. And it's like serious. Who? What, dude?
Representing the senior class.
Me or who? Him.
Is he there, right? I think he's talking to you.
Me? Me. Me. For him. No?
Representing the senior class,
Him?
Oh no, look.
David Hobart and Dante Morales. Here at Van Winkle and Cleo Parker. Sebastian Gonzalez, and Caroline Bauer. Sabine Tovar is the daughter of Maria Tovar and Sabine Mahmoud. Sabine is a member of the Student Council, the Cosmetology Club, and class, and also a member of the book club. Outside of school activities include Key Club. Sabine is escorted this evening by Dante Morales. Dante Morales, son of Hilda Perez and Jesus Morales. Dante is the goalkeeper for the Greenville High School varsity soccer team. He is a class star and a member of the National Honor Society. Dante plays club soccer and a team that was accepted for the ESPN Showcase. Outside of school, Dante enjoys going to the gym and is escorted this evening by Sabine Tovar. Also representing the senior class, Yeso Lehan. Yeso is the daughter of Imelda Martinez and Kinde Lehan. Yeso is an internal for the Greenville High School fighting classes, enjoys playing varsity soccer, and is a member of the National Honor Society. And outside the time, she enjoys going to the gym and is escorted this evening by Walter Abrams III. Walter Abrams, the son of Diana McGowan and stepfather Mario Cesar, son of Diana, is a member of the Lions Cry Band and also a member of the Key Club. Walter enjoys working at Brahms, Ice Cream and Dairy. He is president of Park Street Christian Church and is escorted this evening by Yusuf Leha. Senior Kira Van Winkle. Kira is the daughter of Gary Thomas and Kelly Van Winkle. She is a major for the Greenville High School hockey classes and a 3-year member of the Greenville High School basketball team. Outside of school, she helps with community service and is an active member in Family Fellowship Youth Group and is escorted this evening by Khalil Parker. Khalil Parker, the son of Tiffany Parker and Sherry Morris. Khalil is a member of the Greenville High School varsity football team. He is a state power lifter, and Khalil is a track star. He enjoys his part-time work at Marshall's, and he works in the PALS program, and he is escorted this evening by Kira Fenwick. Also representing the senior class, Caroline Bowers. Caroline is the daughter of Kim Bowers and the late Craig Bowers, and the stepdaughter of Tommy Lewis. Caroline is a 3-year member of the varsity soccer team, a 3-year member of the Greenville High School volleyball team, a 3-year member of the varsity basketball team. She's a 2-year varsity cheerleader, a member of the National Honor Society and Student Council. Outside of school, Caroline enjoys playing club soccer and is an active member of Family Fellowship Church. She is escorted this evening by Sebastian Gonzalez. For the line right hand, president of the Iron Lion Silver Park team, president of the Key Club, head of the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, member of the National Honor Society, member of the Interact Club, member of the Student Council, member of the Book Club, and a member of Spooky Springs. Sebastian is escorted this evening by Caroline Bauer. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd like to introduce our homecoming king and queen. Our homecoming king for 2023, Sebastian Gonzalez. 2023 Homecoming Queen. Yesbo Lehan. How about a big round of applause for all of these amazing young ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to you all.
I don't know if they'll call school
Ladies
software.
and gentlemen, this is Julie Nichols, and I am up here on behalf of Senior Class 2024. We have been working hard to raise money for project graduation and prom, and one of our big fundraisers is the Ice Trip for $5,000, and so we're about to do the drawing. You do not have to be present to win, but without further ado, I'm going to let Kevin Powers do the drawing, and the winner is Dave Powell. So if Dave Powell, if you're here, if you will come see me, I'll be in the concession stand. If not, we have your number, and we will give you the details, and congratulations. And thank you for supporting the class of 2024.
When you're ready for fight song. I don't know what they'll do first. Just pay attention.
Welcome to Pirates from Poteet High School.
Set the lights on. Stand up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your Greenville. Supporting our line of the class of 98, the class of 1993, and the class of 2003.
National anthem by the choir. Stay standing, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention to the middle of the field for the posting of tonight's colors. Please stand, gentlemen, remove your hats.
Trouble.
Singing the national anthem this evening, the acapella choir from Greenville High School under the direction of Scott Service.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium after those wonderful homecoming festivities and that amazing rendition of the national anthem by the GHS choir. We've got some starting lineups here for you, as I'll go first with the offense. Up front on the line for the Lions tonight is going to be number 79, Isaiah Wells, number 69, Victor Osorio, number 55, Nick Just, number 54, Braden Maps, and number 74, Xander Gonzalez. The receivers for the Lions tonight are number 88, Jet Fifield, number 4, Isaiah Wells, and number 10, Dadrian Payton. The tight end for the Lions tonight is number 82, Nathan Michelle, while the QB for the Lions is number 13, Anthony Johnson, and the starting running back for the Lions is number 25, Greg Washington. Archer, what's it looking like on the defensive side of the ball?
All right, and on the defensive side of the ball, we've got number 45, Cody Waldrop, playing our left end position, and our sophomore, number 20, Mario Valentine, playing defensive tackle, and senior number 59, Khalil Parker, playing right end. And then our linebacker crew is number 28, senior Ruben Enriquez, playing outside linebacker, senior number 33, Jonathan Sampson, playing middle linebacker, and junior number 23, Jaden Johnson, playing outside linebacker. Our secondary is made up of junior number 8, Daniel Renner, sophomore number 18, Jamorian Hamilton, junior number 16, Caleb Yost, and juniors number 7 and 3, Reagan Goggins and Aiden Lewis.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Archer. And we see the captains going ahead and meeting up at midfield where they're having the coin toss, and we'll see who's kicking and who's receiving here in just 1 second. It appears that the Lions have deferred to the second half. And so Poteet will be receiving, headed from my left to my right to start us off this game. Archer, it feels like a great day for football. As a matter of fact, why don't you tell us what the game start temperature is for us?
Yes, sir. It's reading about 69 degrees right now. A nice, cool weather. May seem cold, but may seem all right down for the players on the field.
I'm sure they're really enjoying it. It's a lot different than that 96 or whatever it was in the first game of the season.
Oh, man. That heat, it's a tough one to play in. So this is a nice, chilly weather. Nice football game time weather.
Yeah, well, I never played football myself, but I know how hot it is being a catcher in all this gear. You played football, so you know how hot it is being in those pads down there.
Well, I did a lot of standing on the sidelines, but it was still hot.
Sorry about that, guys. I miscalled that, it looks like. It looks like the Lions are actually going to be receiving to start the game, as looks like number 38, Eric Robles, back to kick for the Pirates. And that looks like number 10, Dadrian Payton, back to receive, but it's going to go ahead and bounce on down into the end zone for a touchback. So I believe that'll be coming all the way out to the 25. So pretty good starting field position for the Lions on their first play, first drive of the night for them.
Absolutely. I think with our big play offense, I think it should be a good thing for us to start on that 25 rather than a little further back.
Yeah, and coming out all the way to 25, it gives them a good chance to either throw it or run it, which we know they can do well. I have a feeling we're going to see something kind of like a run probably from Anthony Johnson here on the first play. Maybe a run from Greg Washington, but we'll see here in just 1 second as Johnson is back in the shotgun formation. So Johnson takes the snap, fakes it to Washington, look in, surveying the field, and he almost finds Payton as the pass was broken up.
Yes, and that was broken up by number 9, which looks to be Jabari Williams, the sophomore wide receiver in DB.
So that's going to bring up second down and 10 to go for the Lions from their own 25-yard line. And running a pretty big set out there right now, as Johnson's still back in shotgun formation to take the snap. And he goes ahead and he runs to his left. As he's got some room, he bowls over a defender and gets all the way down to about the 44-yard line or so. has a big run for the Lions.
Looks like number 4 and number 6 were the last two to get him down, which was Cameron Williams and Traylon James, both seniors on this defense.
That's going to bring up a new set of downs, first down and 10 to go from the 45-yard line for the Lions. And we see Johnson back as he hands it off to Washington. Washington's looking for a gap, almost gets around the edge, but is quickly met by some resistance.
Yes, sir. That looked like 24 and 32. Kevin Long and Ashton Harrington, once again, seniors on this defense, making big plays on a good night.
Yeah, so no doubt for sure. Definitely some good plays for the Pirates. It's going to bring up second down with 12 to go for the Lions. And Johnson's back as he's going to go ahead and take the snap and fake the handoff. It's going to be a pitch to Peyton, who's got a lot of room to work with. And Peyton's going down the far sideline as he's breaking. He's got almost broke the tackle, but gets down right at about the 21-yard line or so.
Oh, yeah. A touchdown-saving play by, looks like, number 26 from what I can see here. And that would be Josue Cunha, a defensive back as a junior.
Yeah, and a great play by both guys. Thought Peyton had a touchdown there, but like you said, the Pirate defender was just there waiting for him and was able to get him down. But Johnson takes the snap, drops back, and he goes ahead and decides to tuck it and run with it as he's going to run right over a few defenders and get all the way down to about the 14 or so.
Yeah, Johnson looked a little frustrated after that one. Maybe a busted route from a receiver, but bad play turned good from Johnson right there, getting about 6 on that play.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Lions as they're going to have the ball on their own, ball on the Pirates' 15-yard line. And here early with just 10 minutes left in the game, knocking on the doors, Johnson drops back and he almost finds Peyton in the end zone just right off the tip of his fingers.
Just past his outstretched arms, number 11, gives him a little shove in the back.
Yeah, and some great coverage there by number 11 on defense. And, Peyton almost had that one. The ball was just a tiny bit off target, but luckily we got another down to work with here. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4, and Johnson's going to go ahead and run with it, but he's going to be met by a lot of Pirates, a whole crew of them, and be stopped well short of first down.
And it looks like we might attempt going for this on 4th down. It is early in the game. It's a good chance to show them what we've got on 4th down.
Yeah, well, and definitely a good opportunity, and I think a good decision here is Johnson's going to go ahead and run with the ball and be met by some pretty good coverage there and be stopped short of the first down. So that's going to bring up a turnover on downs for the Lions and bring up 1st and 10 for the Pirates from about the 14.
Number 24, Kevin Long, that senior linebacker, once again making a big play, a big stop on 4th down for that Pirates defense.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be hearing Kevin Long's name several times tonight as he seems to be getting involved often and early.
I think so too, Bentley. I think so too.
So we got a good look at the Lions offense on that drive. Unfortunately, nothing came of it, but the Poteet quarterback hands it off to number 27, Aaron Tinsley there as he gets down to about the 20-yard line or so. Picks up about 5 yards on the play there.
Yep, picked up about 5 yards and met by about 5 Lions on that one.
So the Poteet quarterback drops back in the pocket and goes ahead and takes the snap and hands it off to the running back. A little bit of a rough handoff there as he's met by a whole crew of Lions and taken down. Before he got back to the line of scrimmage, it looked like, as that's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 to go.
Yeah, it almost looked like the quarterback wanted to keep that one, maybe take it around the edge, but it looks like the running back had his arms too tight around it.
Yeah, and that appears to be number 1, Josh Hobbs, man in the quarterback position for the Pirates, So he goes ahead and gets around the corner and gets there for a first down, but is met by several Lions. And the officials come in and blow the play dead, which I think was the wise decision there for sure.
I believe so too. Looks like he got about to the 33, 34-yard line on his own side, but it picks up that first down, as you said, and then we'll get another at least 4 downs.
Yeah, and both offenses moving the ball pretty well here so far to start the game. which is good to see. But as you know, the line commentators were hoping to see a stop here pretty quick, and the boys get the ball back on offense. So Hobbs is back in the pocket as he takes the snap and he drops back to pass. First time we've seen him pass tonight, and he's scrambling. He's being pressured a lot as he sheds a defender and ultimately is taken down by number 26. I'm not sure who that was on the play. I don't know that I've seen a number 26 on the field much for the Lions this year.
Sounds like our announcer over on the box to the right of us didn't have a name to 26 either. So 26 made a big play on that one.
We'll have to see if we can figure that out for y'all here pretty soon. Who knows, though? He's not sure who that is. And he hands it off to number 27, Aaron Tinsley, as he almost tries to get around the edge, but to no avail.
And it looks like number 70, it looks like, made that play on defense. Mario Valentine, just a junior on this team, but he's become one of our big players down on that defensive line we've got there.
Yeah, Mario Valentine is definitely out there making a big difference for him. So brings up third down with 14 to go for the Pirates here as the Lions defense is stiffened. And Hobbs drops back in the pocket with the pass as he's got met by a lot of pressure real quick, and is taken down after a little scramble for about 4 yards, gets back to almost the original line of scrimmage, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it looks like Jonathan Sampson grabbed his ankle and did not let go on that one.
So it looks like the Poteet Pirates are going to trot their punting unit out, and I think that's probably a pretty wise decision being this far back in your own territory this early in the game. So see if I can get that name for you of who's punting.
I'm not seeing one on his jersey, but we should see after he kicks this one.
Yeah, and it's up. And it's going to be down as the Pirates are going to down it right at about the 31-yard line. And I believe that might have been Josh Hobbs doing the kicking for him.
It looked like I got number 17, Oscar Guzman, the senior wide receiver, listed on here. But I could have been wrong, and it may have been Josh Hobbs back there. We'll have to see what he looks like next time when we get out there punting.
Yeah, so the Lions are going to have a great starting field position, starting all the way out at the 32, on this drive. And Johnson in at quarterback, of course, as he's back in the shotgun formation. And he takes the snap. He decides to throw it and almost connects to Isaiah Williams on that play, but Williams was met by two defenders there and made it real difficult for him to bring anything in.
Yeah, that's a hard ball to catch in that double coverage right there. Anthony Johnson put it right in the hole that it needed to be, but it was just so hard for him to catch that one.
Yeah, so Johnson back again in the shotgun formation as he takes the snap and hands it off to, I believe that's Greg Washington, who's going to go ahead and get about 6 yards or so.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who he met first, but the guys getting up off the ground are 59 and looks like maybe 60-something. 59 being Jeremiah Watson making a big play on defense there.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up third down, and Johnson's going to actually keep it this time and run it. Get up to about the 40, but that's not going to be enough as that'll bring up 4th and 3. So we'll see if they decide to go for it. Kind of looks like they might, but nope. Here we see number 9, Edwin Garcia, trotting out on the gentleman handling the punting duties for the Lions this season.
Yeah, he was pretty good last year. He's averaged, from what I've seen, about 40 yards a punt this season, which, hey, if you can get 40 yards a punt in a high school game, that's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a good start for the senior punter, as he takes a little bit of a low snap, but he gets it off no problem and punts it all the way about back to the 30, but it's returned, and that was number 24, Kevin Long, on the return, but he's pushed out of bounds about at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he got about 9 yards on that return, so that'll set the Pirates up with, again, pretty nice field position for him.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and bring the ball out to the 41-yard line. So far, nobody's scoring as about 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's been a pretty evenly fought match so far, but hopefully we'll see the Lions break away here pretty soon as we see Hobbs back in the pocket, back in shotgun formation. And Hobbs takes the snap, hands it off to Tinsley, as Tinsley breaks away, and he's all the way out to about the 10-yard line and is ultimately brought down right at about the 4.
It looks like Daniel Renner running him down for I don't even know how many times he's done that this season. As I mentioned pregame, that's a man to watch with this speed that he's got there.
Yeah, Renner definitely a big difference maker on the defensive side of the ball. So a big pickup for the Pirates. That's going to set them up with first down and goal on the Lions' 3-yard line. So knocking on the door here. But we've seen the Lions' defense stand strong pretty well this season. So hopefully we'll see something like that tonight. As we see him handed off to, it looks like number 4, Cameron Williams. And Williams is met, it looks like, in the backfield for about a loss of 2 yards. It's going to bring up second down, second and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they brought in a nice big set for that play, and it looks like they're going to do the same thing here and run that ball.
Hobbs motions for guys to shift to the other side, and they're going to hand it. And it looks like, I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Looks like a false start on the offense there. So that'll move him back about 5 yards.
So we're going to see second down, second and goal from the 10-yard line, as we're going to see some receivers split out right and one split out to the left. Hobbs takes the snap and hands it off to his running back as he's trying to find a running lane, but nothing comes of it.
He lost the ball to the ground, so it wasn't a fumble this time, but number 24 got chased down by, it looks like, number 23, Jaden Johnson on the defense.
Yeah, and we call Johnson's name a lot. He's a big part of the defense and the offense for the Lions, as he's their backup running back, and he's pretty dang good at it too, for sure. So we see Hobbs back in the shotgun formation again with, looks like Tinsley back in the backfield with him, as he's going to take the snap and drop back as he's met by a lot of pressure, but tries to find his man in the end zone, but the pass is broken up. And looked like number 3, Aiden Lewis, on that play. So great defensive effort by the junior DB. And we call Lewis's name quite a bit this season, and we'll probably call it several times tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He stepped up into a big role with losing those seniors at the cornerback position, and he's shown it this season.
Yeah, for sure. And so it looks like the Pirates are going to go ahead and trot their field goal unit out. And we saw them kicking a little bit before the game started, so we'll see how he does here, as it looks like Jaden Walker is going to be the holder. And I'll get that kicker's name for you in just 1 second. So the kick is up, and it is good, as that was number 37, Rocco Reyna, on the kick for the Pirates.
Looked like a 32-yard field goal for Rocco there, and looked like he made it look pretty easy too.
Yeah, for sure. He got that one up with no problem at all. So that's going to bring the score to 3-0 Pirates with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left. And as we see the Pirates running some flags right around the field. And there's a timeout on the field. Yeah, we'll take a timeout here in just 1 second, as we got a few sponsorships here to show y'all.
New, better, fast. The same excellent reliability and hometown service you've always counted on, now with faster speeds. Whether it is streaming, gaming, surfing the web, or working from home, GEUS is connecting you to the world. Sign up today at GEUS.org or by calling 903-457-2800.
And we're back with the kickoff from TA Cotton Ford Stadium as we're going to see number 37, Rocco Reina, back out there again for the kickoff. So Lions down 3-0 as we've got a couple guys out back waiting for the kick. And it's going to be pitch to Peyton as he's going to get it around the edge. And he's got a lot of room to run there as he's going to take it, and he's going to go all the way to the house with it. So Peyton with a really good run back as he's going to run that back for a touchdown, and that is a quick turn of events, folks. That's going to bring the Lions to 6-3 right now.
And let's hope it sticks because there is a penalty flag on our own 15-yard line on this play. So we will hope that is something on the defense, but we won't know until a few seconds from now.
Yeah, so a big run, but we'll see just in 1 second, like Archer said, if it's going to hold. And it's looking like it is not going to be, as I believe that was a holding call on the Lions.
Yep, it looked like a holding call on us. I'm unsure on the number. I don't think they announced the numbers in high school football. But sadly, that will pull that return back to about the 10-yard line, I believe.
Yeah, so not what we want to see. But, that didn't take very much time off the clock at all. So the Lions still have a lot of time to work with here in the first quarter.
Absolutely. And we see them make big plays on the kickoff. We can make big plays on offense, so let's hope they keep that momentum here.
Yeah, when you got guys with the speed that Peyton has and Fifield, there's always an opportunity to make a big play. So we are going to see the Lions come out with the ball right at about their own 9-yard line. So they're going to be pinned down pretty deep, but definitely seen them get out of worse situations than this before. So Johnson takes the snap and hands it off to Washington as he is met by Johnson as he is met by a lot of resistance.
Absolutely. That defensive line looked to just swarm him right as he got to the offensive line's position.
Yeah, and so it looks like a timeout by the Lions, and we'll take a 30-second break and be back in 1 minute. And we're back, folks, as the teams are still together for a few more seconds, talking things over. The Lions are going to come back up with 2nd down and 11 to go with the ball on their own 8-yard line as they were met, like I said, by some tough defenders and a loss on that play. So with 2 minutes and 14 seconds, the Lions are going to try and get something going here. A lot of game left to play, but you never want to be down. So, but I think they can get something going here pretty quick. So Johnson takes the snap and drops back and dancing around his own end zone as he takes off to run and breaks a few tackles, gets all the way up to about the 15-yard line. And a pretty good run there by the quarterback.
Yeah, he was met by number 5 and number 4, or number 9 and number 4 from that defense. Number 9 being Jabari Williams, one that we've heard a few times tonight, and Cameron Williams also one that we've heard a few times tonight. 2 players that have made a bunch of plays already in this game.
Yeah, so we see Johnson back deep to take the snap, but all by himself, and he finds Fifield over the middle as Fifield breaks one tackle and is ultimately taken down right at about the 34-yard line or so.
Yeah, he just swept right through that linebacker crew and made it right in between the linebackers and the safeties back there for a nice pickup.
Yeah, great play, great vision by the quarterback, great catch by Fifield, and so we see Johnson back by himself again as he takes the snap and is looking for a receiver. Decides to go ahead and tuck it and run with it as a pretty good decision. He picks up about 3 or 4 yards on the play there.
Yeah, it looked like almost a choice route from the 2 receivers on the left side, meaning if they want to stay there, they can. If they want to go deep, they can. So maybe we'll see some more of that tonight, maybe not.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a different look for the Lions so far, and we saw them break out some interesting plays last week. We'll see if they break them out at all this week. So Johnson takes the snap and just decides to go ahead and run with it off rip and is pushed back as looks like he might pick up about a yard on that play.
And it looks like we got an unnecessary roughness penalty on that one. Looked a little excessive after the end, throwing Anthony Johnson to the ground on that one.
Yeah, and that's, we saw some stuff last week that we wondered if it should have been called. It wasn't. And then some stuff that was called, and we felt like were really good calls. So it's good when you see stuff. You don't want to ever see stuff like that, but it's good when you do if it gets called. So that's going to move them up quite a bit and bring up 1st and 10 for the Lions from right at about the 47, the Pirates 47 there. So a big gain for the Lions off the penalty.
Yeah, just a silly mistake from the defense there. They had him stopped on a good stop, coming to a 3rd down, and all of a sudden it's 1st down on their own half.
Yeah, and that's just that's a big part of the mental game, chess match, if you would. So Johnson back as he takes the snap and he drops way back and decides to go ahead and scramble, and he throws it away, as I think that was a good decision because I don't think he was going to be able to turn the corner there. So I'm going to bring up 2nd down and 10 to go on the Pirates 47 still. And Johnson's looking pretty good so far for the night on his running. He's has yet to quite get the passing game going, but I'm sure he will, as we saw him. I don't remember what the exact number was, but I believe he threw for almost 230 yards last week, so we know he can definitely do it. As he hands it off to Washington, and Washington breaks away and picks up what appears to be a 1st down. Excuse me, that was number 23, Jaden Johnson, on the play there.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't have it at first, but those other Lions came in and just shoved him right past that 1st down to gain line.
Yeah, and, sometimes you just need a little bit of help from your teammates, and he got that there and was able to get him a 1st down there. So we see Peyton shift over to the left side as he's going to fake the handoff to Johnson, pitch it to Peyton, and Peyton's going to get all the way around the edge as he just needs one blocker, and he's going to go ahead and get on into the end zone for a Lions touchdown with 8 seconds left on the clock.
Great trickery by the Lions there, and a great block on the outside by, it looked like Isaiah Williams, I believe, had just a great block to let Peyton find the end zone on that one for the 2nd time, but the first one that counts tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen some trick plays by the Lions, and they seem to typically work. So we'll wonder if we'll see any more trick plays tonight as we see Nick Just trot out onto the field to handle the kicking units. Fifield takes the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So that's going to bring us to a 7-3 score of the Lions with 8 seconds left in the 1st quarter. And I think we're going to take a break here for just 1 second, get some water, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. All right, folks, and we're back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium with a 7-3 lead for the Lions. As a great turn of events, we thought they had a touchdown there on the kickoff. They weren't able to get one, but no problem for the Lions as they went ahead and put it in the end zone anyway and took some time off the clock.
Oh, yeah, leaving 8 seconds in the 1st quarter. It's a real nice drive. Gives them good confidence into the 2nd quarter. And it looks like we've got a different looking kickoff up here. Everybody's standing on the line.
Yeah, and that's something. Oh, there they go breaking out. But that's something about Coach Jackson. He likes to run different looking formations and everything out there. So that's number 7, Reagan Goggins, handling the kickoff, and looks to be a little bit of an onside kick as he is lit up by number 16, Caleb Yost there, and big play by the Lions.
Man, that was a hit. You could hear it up in the press box. Everybody oohed whenever that one hit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we heard the pop and we heard the ooh all at once, and we saw visibly a lot of Lions players on the sideline getting fired up as that play was right in front of them. So good to see the teammates getting involved there and enjoying it from the sidelines.
Absolutely, but it does set up the Pirates with really good field position coming into the 8 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, so we see Hobbs back as he takes the snap and hands it off to number 27, Tinsley, as he's going to dance around a little bit and pick up about what looks to be about 5 yards or so. And that's going to go ahead and round out the first quarter as the clock hits 0. And so we'll be back in just 1 second with the second quarter.
Introducing GEUS Smart Pay, a prepaid electric service. The smart way to manage your energy bills. With GEUS Smart Pay, you're in control. No monthly bills, no late fees, no disconnect or reconnect fees, and lower or no deposits. GEUS Smart Pay. Smart, simple, and electricity on your schedule. Sign up today at 903-457-2800.
And we are back live here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium. Bentley Love and Archer O'Neill with Matthew Middleton working the cameras as Hobbs drops back and is met by a lot of pressure, but he goes ahead and he gets the throw off. And
that looked like it was caught.
It looks like they're going to go ahead and call that, but there's a flag on the play, as it looks like it's going to be holding on the Pirates. And so that's going to be bringing that play back. Good thing for the Lions, because that would have been a huge go for the Pirates there. So that's going to bring them all the way back to right at about, well, they're going to walk it off here in just 1 second.
Absolutely, and that's another costly mistake by the Pirates with a big penalty on a like that. They hope they can clean that up, honestly, or else it's not going to turn out well for them.
Yeah, so going to bring up second down and about 15 to go from the 42-yard line. They went from the Lions 48 to their own 42. So he hands it off to Tinsley, and Tinsley dances around, gets all the way back up to about the 49. So it looks like it'll probably bring up about 3rd and 9. So good yardage on the play, but they needed a lot of yardage. And so what would have gotten them a first down originally, not going to quite get them a first down here.
Yep, and that leaves them at a 3rd and 9, it looks like. We're probably going to see a pass out here, but you never know with this Pirate team.
Yeah, they definitely like to run it, but I think they're probably going to pass it here. So Hobbs takes the snap, a little bit of a low snap, but doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. And he is met by a lot of force in the backfield, and it looks like they're probably going to call that down.
Looks like he's down, and then it looks like he's also down injured on the play. I hope that's nothing too serious on there.
Yeah, so the trainers trot out to check on him. Hopefully the quarterback's going to be all right there, but we will see here in just 1 second as we're going to take a short little break here, and we'll be back with information on the injury soon. And we are back live here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium as we saw Hobbs walk off under his own power, so that's always a good sign, but it looks like the Pirates are going to bring out the punt unit, which is probably a good decision, so we won't know for sure if he's going to stay in this game till next drive, but there's a whistle on the play. And looks like it might be a delay of game call.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see any penalty flags come out, but there's some Greenville coaches on the field. And it looks like a Greenville timeout was called.
Interesting decision there, but, he saw something he didn't like and he wanted to talk it over with his guys, so I can't argue with that at all. And so they're going to talk it over, see what it is, and it'll bring up 4th and 13 for the Pirates. I'm sure they'll still come out and punt because that's a long way to go being on your own 45-yard line, and especially with the game still being as early as it is. It's not like they have to have points here. It'd be nice, but they don't have to have them just yet.
Absolutely, and you would see maybe them going for it on maybe a 4th and 3, maybe even a 4th and 5 in high school sometimes. They really like to go for it on the middle yardage plays, but 4th and 13 is pretty drastic to go for on 4th down.
Yeah, and Archer, you mentioned something earlier when we were off the air that if Hobbs had been able to get that pass off earlier, just a second earlier, probably would have been a completion and probably would have been a big play there. But unfortunately, he wasn't. Well, unfortunate for the Pirates, fortunate for us, he wasn't. So we are going to see the punting unit again. And
it does look like Oscar Guzman is back there to punt for the Pirates. Number 17, a senior.
Yeah, so we saw Oscar the first time around, and they're going to see him here again as he's going to get a pretty good kickoff so far as it's going to bounce and take a huge Greenville favor bounce as it's going to come all the way back to the 35-yard line, landed right at about the 30 or 31 and bounced back 4 yards before it was caught by number 5, Caleb Laura.
Maybe I was mistaken there, Bentley, but I didn't see us drop a returner back.
I didn't either. I didn't see anybody back there, and I kind of wonder if they didn't think Guzman was going to get it too far back there, and so they just decided they would take their chances with it.
Well, as you said, luckily enough, it took a nice Greenville bounce, and we've got good field starting position.
Yeah, so we're going to see Johnson here at right at about the 30 to take the snap. And it's going to be a bit of a high snap, but he's going to make a throw to Williams, who hadn't quite gotten turned around yet. And so it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it almost looked like Williams was run blocking and not really expecting that pass, so maybe it was just a miscommunication on somebody's side.
Yeah, so interesting, but hopefully we will see something a little different here. So 2nd down and 10 as he hands it off to fakes the handoff to Washington and gets all the way up to about the 48 or 49-yard line there. That's going to bring up what appears to be 3rd and 2 for the line. So a big pickup by Johnson, and we've seen him do it plenty of times, and good to see him do it again. As Johnson takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Washington, and just bulls his way over as he's all the way out to about the Pirate 48 for a 1st down, Lions.
And we are moving fast on this one.
Johnson takes the snap, drops back, a little bit of pressure, but nothing he can't handle, and gets it to Peyton as Peyton jukes his defender and gets all the way down to about the 30 or 31-yard line before taken down by a few Pirates there.
And that looked like almost one of those other choice routes I was mentioning earlier, and they are back to going right again now.
And Johnson takes the snap, and he has his man almost open, but there's a flag on the two flags on the far sideline, as I think we're probably going to see that be a holding or pass interference call on the Pirates.
Yeah, it looked like they were battling, but it looked like the defense was definitely holding on to a jersey or an arm of Fifields there, which just didn't let him catch it on that one.
Yeah, and I got to say, if we can see it all the way up here in the press box, the refs are definitely going to see it.
Well, you would hope.
Yeah. So looks like they're going to go ahead and move the chains and bring up 1st down for the Lions from right at about the 20. So move them a little bit further, and going to be a drop back from Johnson as he's going to find his receiver, Peyton, in the end zone, but it's busted up by the Pirate defender.
Looks like it hit Peyton in the thigh. Almost just a perfect drop position for him, and it just dropped right through his hands as well.
Yeah, great play by Johnson, and it could have been a really, really good play by Peyton, but unfortunately it was broken up there.
And there are many Poteet coaches on the field right now. It looks like they just called a timeout because there was a Poteet coach further on the field than Jet Fifield was there.
Yeah, they wanted that timeout, and they wanted to make sure they got it, and lo and behold, they did. So it's going to score still 7-3 with 9 minutes and 25 seconds left. And both teams are taking their time talking it over here as we see the refs rehydrating by the Greenville trainers there. So we're going to talk it over, see what it's going to be. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 to go here in just a second from the 20-yard line. And obviously, the Poteet coach saw something he didn't like, so we'll see what that is here in a second.
And maybe he just didn't like how fast the Lions were moving on that drive. I mean, I was having trouble catching my breath, let alone those players down there.
Yeah, and that very well could be it, too. Sometimes, coaches call timeout because they see something. Other times it's just to give their boys a breather. So we're going to see the jumbo set to the right here as Johnson's going to take the snap and fake it to Washington and go ahead and bust through the line for a pickup of about 5 yards.
Yeah, quick moving pace again, and Lions are already ready with a receiver to each side.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 for the Lions as Johnson hands it off to Washington. Washington breaks through and gets pushed by his teammates forward a little bit. And looks like he's probably going to pick up that 1st down. Otherwise, he might be about a yard short.
And it looks like the refs just called for them to move the chains, which will then just turn into a 1st and goal for us now.
It's going to be 1st and goal from the 9 as Johnson is back in the shotgun formation again. Moving forward to the lines, looking at his coach, just trying to figure out what the call is here. He got it, and he's moving back. Washington moving from his left to his right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Washington, runs up the middle, and he's going to move it about 4 or 5 yards there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of running from Washington today, and we have seen plenty from Jaden Johnson, who likes to rotate in.
Yeah, and that's really good, especially in high school football. And he hands it off to Washington as Washington's going to get right about to the 1 yard line. So, but it's good to see them handing it off and everything because in high school you want to keep a fresh set of legs in there. So he's going to fake the handoff to Washington and just go ahead and run it in that 1 yard himself. And so that's going to bring a touchdown for the Lions. It's going to be 13-3 as we see the kicking unit trot onto the field.
You would maybe see a Philadelphia-esque brotherly shove out there on that 1 yard line, but it doesn't look like we've practiced that one yet.
Yeah, but hey, with Jackson as the coach, I wouldn't put it past him. He likes to run some pretty cool plays, so the brotherly shove might be coming to Greenville soon. So Fifield back to hold the kick and just kicks that one. It was low, but it was up and it was good to make it 14-3 as that was a bullet by Just.
I think he was just trying to recreate what the Rangers are doing, kicking a line drive down there through the field goal post.
Yeah, you bring up the Rangers, man, and I like the effort there as the Rangers are hot of lately, and the Lions have been pretty hot this game so far as they're making several big plays here thus far, leading 14-3 with just under 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. So we're going to see Goggins out to kick again and see what kind of formation the Pirates run out here for receiving.
We don't know what we could see. We know Goggins is really good at kicking those onside kicks, and he likes to pooch that ball sometimes too. So it just is what the coaches see right now. Maybe we'll see a pooch as we saw the onside last time. Maybe the Poteet expects an onside.
Yeah, kind of with Goggins out there, you got to expect the unexpected. So we'll see what they do here. As Goggins is back and he kicks it, and he is going to kick it over as it's going to be caught and run all the way back to about the 34. It's tripped up about the 32, but flew through the air for a couple more yards.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who tackled him, but I saw number 33, Johnny Sampson, level somebody down right in front of it.
Yeah, and that's something Sampson likes to do. He definitely likes to level players, and pretty good at it, too. He's one of the leaders on the Lions defense there.
He's a scary player in those pads. He really is.
Did you ever have to line up against him?
And I ran away.
Can't say that I blame you. I wouldn't want to line up against Sampson myself. So we see the Poteet offense trot out here with 7:51 left on the clock. And we are going to see Hobbs out there, so that's a good thing. Is we saw him shaking up last time they were out there, but he's going to be out there in the shotgun formation and appear to be okay. As he takes the snap and he runs to his right as he is a big fumble there, but he gets it and is going to run it all the way back to about the 30 as he's going to dance out right at about the 32. So what could have been a loss of about 20 or possibly even a touchdown turns out to just be about a loss of 1. So a big break there for the Pirates.
Yeah, that was great play recognition from number 18, Jamorian Hamilton, to break up that reverse initially, and just unluckily that player got a great bounce on his fumble.
Yeah, you know, we see Hamilton a lot as a DB, but every once in a while we see him out there on the line or blitzing, and it's always nice when we do. So Tinsley's going to go ahead and get about 3 yards or so on the play as it's going to bring up about 3rd and 9. I'm not quite sure who that was that made that tackle there.
You know, I didn't see it either. I was focusing on number 50 down there with some extracurricular blocking on the ground.
Yeah, I think I heard the PA announcer say number 26, but we're still trying to figure out who 26 is. Snap taken by Hobbs, and he is met in the backfield by a whole pride of Lions.
Yep, and the number I see is 26 and 33, Jonathan Sampson, and the mysterious man of 26.
Who do we think 26 is? Because he sure is making some great plays.
I'm not sure. I heard 2 boxes away, they just said Khalil Parker, which, you know, to be fair, I haven't seen a 59 around tonight.
That, you know, Archer, you might be onto something. That might make a little sense because, I mean, Khalil Parker wasn't on the injury report by any means, so we know he's going to be out there, and I haven't seen 59, so maybe 26 is Parker. We'll try and see if we can get that confirmed for you, but I think 26 might be Parker. So a big punt here for the Pirates as there's no return man back for the Lions, and that ball is going to bounce and bounce again all the way back to about the 35-yard line.
Sets up good field position with 6 minutes on the clock for the Lions to maybe put in another touchdown and send the JROTC guys to do some more push-ups down there.
Yeah, that's something that's a cool tradition for the Lions, those ROTC guys doing push-ups every time they score. They've done 21 of them so far tonight. We'll see if they do many more. Hopefully they'll do a bunch more. I'd like to see them do a ton.
I hope they get to top that 63 they did one night.
Yeah, that'd be real cool. So we see Johnson back to take the snap as he's looking over towards his coaches. And Johnson drops back again and takes the snap as he's surveying the field, and he finds Peyton wide open as Peyton's going to haul it in for a big gain as he's going to go out right at about the 42-yard line.
Yep, that's what they call a hole shot. You look up, and there's a hole, and you throw it to him.
I like that. I like that name. So we see Jaden Johnson in with Anthony Johnson instead of Greg Washington this time. So we'll see what happens here as Johnson steps back and he takes the snap, hands it to Jaden Johnson. Jaden Johnson gets around the edge. He goes up the middle, and he goes all the way for what looks to be another Lion first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Poteet normally likes to blitz a lot, but there's been a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight, and it looks like sometimes when there's too much pressure, the running back can just slip right by, which it looks like he did that play right there.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up another second down. I was wrong on that call. A lot of pressure, but Johnson is dancing around as he's going to go ahead and go down for what looks to be a loss here, as it's going to bring up about 3rd down and about 5.
And the popular name Cameron Williams, number 4, made that play once again.
I think Cameron Williams might be their Jonathan Sampson.
I think so. He's put a few people on their butts today.
But it looks like there's a penalty out on the play as it's going to move quite a way forward. Bring up 1st down and 10 for the Lions from right at about the 26-yard line. So we see Anthony Johnson back all by himself, no running back there with him. And he's going to take the snap and throw a quick short pass to Peyton as Peyton's going to throw it back to Johnson. And Johnson is going to be met by a lot of resistance, as that's going to be a big tackle for loss. So I kind of liked what they had going there, but it didn't quite pan out for them.
Yeah, it looked like a double pass. We know Coach Jackson's trickery he's got, but it just looked like Poteet kind of expected that one, honestly.
And I think Poteet might have been watching their film this week because we've seen them run that once before. So, but whoever 26 is, I think it's Parker, but I'm not sure. But whoever 26 is looks to be playing both sides of the ball tonight. He hands it off to Washington, as Washington's met by a lot of resistance again. Excuse me, Jaden Johnson. And it's going to bring up about 3rd and 12 or so.
Yep, and Johnson was met by number 99, Evandre Wright, a defensive lineman that's a junior on that Poteet defense.
So we see Johnson drop back, and he sees Peyton wide open, and he's able to drop it right in his hands as we see the referee signal for a touchdown here. So a huge play here on homecoming as we've got Johnson to Peyton once again, their second time of the evening.
Yep, and it looks like Dadrian Payton's making his own homecoming king nomination on this game.
Boy, I like that, Archer. That'd be something if they crown the king based off who played the best game. So we see Fifield back to do the holding. We've seen him run a few interesting plays here, but I bet he's going to actually hold it, as he does, and just gets the kick up. Not quite a bullet like last time, but definitely up and good, as that's going to bring the score to 21-3 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. And we're going to take a quick little break here and be back in about 30 seconds. And we're back here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium. I'm Bentley Love with Archer O'Neill and Matthew Middleton manning the camera. And we see Reagan Goggins out to do the kicking again. You know, the first kick was an onside kick. The second kick kicked it pretty far back there, so we'll see what he does this time.
Looks like they're lined up pretty deep on the defensive side, and it looks like they were right about what he was going to do. And that return man is taking it to about the 34-yard line on his own side, so a pretty nice return for that man. Looks like number 27, Aaron Tinsley, the running back.
Yeah, so Tinsley there with the big run back, and bring them all the way out to about the 33 or so on that play. So it's going to bring up 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And we'll see what they do here with a fresh set of downs, as they really would like to get another touchdown here, or get their first touchdown of the night before halftime, because you don't want to go down 3 scores at halftime.
No, you don't. So we'll probably see some high-powered offense from this Poteet side, maybe some big bombs, but you never know. They do like to run the ball.
Yeah, so we see Hobbs back, and he takes the snap and is met by a lot of pressure really quickly as he finds 13, but I'm not sure if they're going to signal that a catch. It looks like they're going to go ahead and signal it as not a catch, so that's good for the Lions.
Number 13 was the intended receiver, yet I don't see a number 13 on their roster, so it looks like they may have a mysterious man of their own.
Yeah, you know, it's Friday the 13th, and number 13, we don't know who 13 is, so we'll see if we can figure that out. But we're going to see Hobbs back again. Bet we'll see another throw here on 2nd and 10 as they really need to get something going. Nope, I'm wrong, and he's going to hand it off and run it. And that's number 24, Kevin Long, as he's going to be taken down right at about the 36-yard line. So a decent little pickup, but not quite what they were looking for. That's going to bring up about 3rd and 6.
Yeah, taken down by Jonathan Sampson once again. Man that makes plays all around the linebacker. He can travel side to side, so we'll probably see him maybe even 10 more times tonight make a tackle.
Yeah, Sampson's always out there making a big difference. So we see Hobbs drop back, not the best snap in the world, but he adjusts to it. And he throws one way up there as it is intercepted by the Lions. That's number 8, Daniel Renner, going all the way down the far sideline as he's pushed out of bounds by number 24, Kevin Long.
And Daniel Renner is not the man you want to throw an interception to with his speed.
No, Renner can really make you pay. So, we saw him go deep there, which I really feel like they needed to, but threw into double coverage, and Renner being one of those guys, we've seen him have a couple picks so far this season, I believe, and he's definitely got it. And I can understand why they've been running the ball, because I wouldn't want to throw at Renner.
Oh, yeah. And you see the coaches on the sideline, especially Coach Ford, the defensive back coach, jumping up and down for that interception, as the Lions have great starting field position on this drive.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's cool about Coach Ford. He really gets along well with the players. But we see Johnson drop way back as he finds Williams open, but it bounces off his hands, and he is met by a defender there and is pretty shook up on the play.
Yeah, that was a big hit that got laid. It's a dangerous play running in towards those high safeties, because those high safeties, they lay big hits most of the time. So we're hoping Isaiah Williams is all right on this one and just maybe a stinger to his shoulder.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a short little break here while the trainers attend to Williams, and we'll let you know as soon as we're back what the condition is.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
All right, and we're back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium as we see number 4, Isaiah Williams, walking off for the most part under his own power. So that's a good sign. But he was really shaken up on that play. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. But we'll see here in a little bit if we see him come back out there.
Yeah, well, he just high-fived somebody with his injured shoulder. So I don't know if that was a good decision or just a not thinking decision. But we'll find out later.
Yeah, so we see number 2, number 2, Caleb Hale in at receiver. To take his place. So the little run there is going to bring up what appears to be about 3rd and 9. And so a lot of yardage left for the Lions to go, but we've seen them convert a lot bigger plays than this. So we'll see what they can get going here with 3rd and 9 from the Pirate 38.
Looks like Anthony Johnson's back alone right now and takes off running and is met by number 24 down at the 30-yard line, 29 maybe.
Yeah, so that's going to bring up 4th and 1, it looks like, and we'll see if the Lions decide to go for it here. I wouldn't be surprised if they do with the big quarterback of Johnson, but we'll see here in just a second as it looks like they are going to go for it. So Johnson fakes the handoff, runs it up the middle himself for a lot of yardage, and no doubt about that, he definitely got the first down there. So while they're moving the chains here for 1 second, Archer, why don't you give us a couple scores?
Yeah, so right now in the second quarter, Melissa's beating Denison 20-7. Crandall is losing to Lovejoy 41-0, and Terrell is leading Princeton 21-0 right now.
So we see Johnson back all by himself as he's got a lot of time, but looking for somebody, and he finds, I believe that was Peyton, but it's going to be a loss of yardage as Peyton was behind the line of scrimmage and was met by a pretty good defender there. It looked like number 24, Kevin Long, playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and it looked like it was almost sort of a screenplay setup. Peyton traveled just slightly across the field to receive that one.
Yeah, and talking about some of those scores from the other games, I figured that Lovejoy-Crandall game might be pretty good, but 41-0 in 2 quarters. That's a little rough for Crandall so far. So we see Johnson take the snap, fake the handoff, run himself to the left, as he's got a blocker, and he's going to get all the way up there for the first down in a couple yards. And looks like they're going to go ahead and move the chains there.
Yeah, Johnson made a big play running out to the outside. The blockers, some of them missed their blocks, but he got around the edge past Fifield and had almost free land for him.
Yeah, and he might would have got him a little bit quicker, but Fifield hit that block really well. So Johnson takes the snap and hands it off to Washington as he's going to run into the end zone almost untouched until he gets in there. So that's going to bring up 27-3 for the Lions. As time is about to expire. About 49 seconds left, so we're going to see him trot the kicking unit out there and see what happens here.
And it looked like on that play, Washington almost forgot the ball. It looked like he glanced back towards the offensive line before he went in for the score.
Yeah, it's always nice to see him punch it into the end zone, but no good if you don't have the ball in your hand. So Fifield takes a snap, puts the hold down, just kicks, and the kick is good. So that's going to bring your score to 28-3 with 49 seconds left on this awesome homecoming evening so far.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned pregame, GEUS is 4 for 4 tonight, and I don't know the last time. I don't want to jinx anything. I was a kicker myself, but I don't know the last time I saw a miss.
If you could play high school fantasy football, Just would be the kicker I'd want on my team because he would get you a lot of points.
Absolutely, and the way Lions play that scary offense, they're always trying to score.
Yeah, for sure. So 28-3 Lions with 49 seconds left, and we're going to see them trot the kicking unit out here in a second, and it'll be interesting to see what all the Pirates do here with so little time left on the clock, see if they run any real plays or not.
And now that we've seen just about every type of kick you can get from Goggins, a pooch kick, a deep kick, and an onside kick, what can you really expect with 49 seconds from what I personally would say is almost even a squib kick?
Yeah, I could see him doing a squib kick. It'll be interesting. So Goggins with the kick and a pretty good deep kick as it's going to be caught there by, looks like, number 18, Nile Rivers, as he's got a few blockers, but, and it looks like he fumbles as the Lions are signaling they took it over, and we're going to see what the ref signal is. It looks like they're signaling a Lion ball, so that's a great thing for the Lions, a big turn of events, and 40 seconds left on the clock. That's big for them. Second turnover of the game, and you know what they say, got to play good in all three phases of the game.
Absolutely, and you almost wonder sometimes in these scenarios if all those people were in the way and he could have been down on that play, but we'll never know, and the Lions take over with 40 seconds, and maybe they'll just take a couple end zone shots and try and extend this lead before halftime.
Yeah, they're up by 25 here. If they put another one in the end zone, I'm not going to say it's over because it's never really over till the end, but it could be. So Johnson drops way back, got a ton of time to watch, and he sees Peyton open, but he's met by a lot of resistance and goes ahead and decides to throw it out of bounds, which I think was the good decision because he would have had to throw it all the way across the field to hit Peyton.
Looks like it, and it looked like he just directed Peyton to run more towards the goalpost rather than more across the field.
Yeah, so we see a flag on the play, and we're going to see what that is here, who that's against here in just a second.
Looks like intentional grounding maybe on Anthony Johnson. That's what I was thinking too, but the Lions are walking back.
So it looks like, an intentional grounding call maybe on Johnson, but that's a little bit of an odd call considering he was almost out of bounds when he threw that. So that's going to...
Illegal man downfield was the official call. So it looks like one of those linemen got a little too happy and started running too far.
So that's going to bring up second down and a lot. But luckily for the Lions, they don't really have to get much yardage here. They just kind of want to eat away the rest of that clock. And if they can get another touchdown, that'd be great. So Johnson drops way back, decides to run it himself as he's going to juke that one defender and would have gotten past that other, but he was met in the back by a big defender for the Poteet Pirates.
And it looks like Lions just called a timeout, but I also noticed on that play, Isaiah Williams is back into the game, so looks like that shoulder injury was nothing too serious, and as I said, probably just a stinger to that shoulder, which those hurt.
Yeah, good thing to see him back out there, though. He's a big part of that offense. He's not really, I wouldn't say he's the guy, but he could be if they're paying too much attention to Peyton and Fifield. Williams can definitely hurt you, too.
Absolutely, and when you have three guys that you could say are the guy, it's a pretty dangerous team.
Yeah, it kind of almost reminds you of that receiving core for the Bengals in the NFL.
You know,
almost 3 number ones.
I would say closer to the Jaguars personally, as a Jaguar fan myself, but
I don't even
they're
know what
pretty
to say to
good.
that. Jaguars are all right, but I wouldn't say they're as good. Well, they're better than the Bengals so far this year. But it's going to bring up 2nd and 5 here with Johnson in the backfield all by himself. So, we're probably going to see a pass, but if we see a run, I wouldn't be surprised either because Johnson's definitely got the capability to run for it. So he finds Peyton, and it looks like it might be a first down. Might have gotten bounced back, but I think they're going to go ahead and call it 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, and it looked like 6 made the final push on that one, and Lions are back into offense already.
And they're going to try and get it off. It looks like they might have gotten it off right before the clock, and they're going to throw it deep to number 2, and it's going to be intercepted, but it looks like they did end up whistling it dead. So that's going to be it, folks, as going into halftime, it's going to be 28-3 Lions. We're going to take a short little break here, and then we'll be back with an interview with some first half stats here. So as we see the Poteet band trotting on, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Greenville became the first municipally owned public power electric utility in Texas in 1891, when privately owned companies were only interested in serving large cities such as Dallas and Fort Worth. Greenville citizens took destiny into their own hands and began producing their own power. Today, more than 130 years later, GEUS continues to provide this vital service to our community. Public power has a long history nationwide of supplying electricity to communities when investor-owned utilities wouldn't or couldn't provide this crucial service. The nation's 2,000-plus community-owned utilities currently supply power to millions of people in 49 states and 5 U.S. territories. The communities range in size from being very small to the largest public power system, which is owned by citizens of Los Angeles, California. San Antonio is the second largest city in the U.S. receiving public power. Municipally owned, public power utilities answer directly to their customers. Decisions are made locally by citizens of the community. Because public power utilities are owned by their communities and are not motivated by profits, rates are typically lower than investor-owned utilities and reliability is higher. Public power utilities value providing local customer services such as local offices with pay centers. GEUS is a public power utility. That means your utility is community-owned and not-for-profit. GEUS is proud to be your local public power utility.
Careful use of our energy resources is a GEUS priority, and we know that saving money as well as energy is important to our customers. Did you know that you can save money year-round by making small changes to your thermostat? Save money and energy year-round by installing a programmable thermostat. Program a setting comfortable for your whole family while you're home. Program the thermostat while you are away 7 to 10 degrees or more cooler in the winter and warmer in the summer. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, you can save as much as 10% per year by doing this. Weather impacts our heating and cooling costs, causing our units to run more, especially during extreme temperatures. Adjust your thermostat just 4 degrees from your normal settings during extreme temperatures to conserve energy and save on your utility bill. Consider energy efficiency updates to your home to help improve comfort and savings. Improvements like sealing cracks around doors and windows and upgrading attic insulation keeps your cooling or heating in when you need it. GEUS Customer Service is ready to serve and assist you any way we can. Call 903-457-2727 2800 or visit our website at www.geus.org.
Serving the people of Greenville is what we do. At GEUS, community involvement, volunteering, giving back through sponsorships, and providing hometown service with world-class reliability are just a few of our priorities. Being a locally owned public power utility means we are your family, friends, and neighbors. Community involvement and giving is easy when you are serving your hometown. Nationally recognized reliability and service, owned by those we serve for over 130 years.
And welcome back to TA Cotton Ford Stadium. I'm here with David Claiborne, who has been keeping stats for us so far. And, David, the Lions put up a lot of points in that first half, but how was it? How were they all scored for us?
Well, this is probably one of their best halves in the last couple of years, and it's great to have it on homecoming. What they did, they had 4 long drives. One drive went 91 yards in 8 plays, another 65 yards in 10 plays, another 65 yards in 5 plays, 61 yards in 7 plays. They're moving the football. But the big thing is defense. I've got them holding Mesquite Poteet to 2 first downs. 2 first downs, 69 yards total offense. And 58 of that came on one run by Aaron Tinsley, and line defensive back Daniel Renner tackled him from behind and saved a touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal. But other than that one run, the Lions haven't given up anything on defense, and it's been an impressive performance. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tackles for losses, 8 tackles for 9 losses, tackles for losses. They're just all over them. They're winning the game up front. Greenville Lions, I have them 15 first downs. That's very good. And 218 yards rushing, 77 passing, 295 total yards of offense. That's a great first half.
Yeah, well, they say the games are won in the trenches, and definitely the Lions are out fighting them, or at least out producing in the trenches so far. And it's good to see. And like you mentioned, they have been all over the field.
Anthony Johnson, he's doing it again with the arm and his feet. I got him with 102 yards rushing on 18 carries, 81 yards passing. He's 6 of 13. Of course, they had that throwback where Dadrian Payton threw it back to him. He completed that one. Dadrian Payton has made some great catches tonight. I got him with, looks like 5 catches for 81 yards. Just outstanding performance on Dadrian. He's made some over-the-shoulder catches and high up, and made a catch there in the end zone that was very spectacular. He had a 90-yard kickoff return where they pitched it to him, called back by a penalty, but the Lions didn't let that stop them. They came right back, and Dadrian scored on the 37-yard run, so that's to the Lions' credit that they didn't let that penalty deter them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Peyton's got 2 official touchdowns, but he could have, he's kind of gotten in the end zone 3 times, just 2 only real ones.
That was a very nice kickoff return, and, that's one of those you're looking upfield, and then I look back and, what's the penalty? And when they throw it back there, there's no question it's probably holding. That's unfortunate to me. It may have been marked off as a 10-yard penalty. That's more like a 90-yard penalty when you take off that kickoff return yardage. That's unfortunate, but they came back from it. But the Lions, Coach Jackson, his discipline has been working. They don't get a lot of penalties. I only had them 2 for 15. the Pirates, they're the ones, they've got 5 penalties for 55 yards, and they've kept some drives alive for the Lions with some unfortunate penalties. But just all in all, it's we got Greg Washington, 30 yards on 6 carries. He's running tough. The Lions, they look inspired. Of course, it's homecoming. The last 30 homecomings, they're 15-15, and there have been some impressive wins in those homecoming. They've beaten some state-ranked teams, and there were some teams, Lion teams, that only went 1-9, but one of the wins was on homecoming. So they play well, and this is the biggest home crowd that I've seen in a couple of years. They've come out for homecoming.
Yeah, I don't have any exact numbers by any means, but there have definitely been a lot of alumni here, and there were a bunch of people at the class reunion for Class 88 in the parking lot that I stopped by and talked to a few of them before the game.
Did you see them walk through the Lion Head, the tunnel? They came out. And
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Turnout. That's a little unusual because, people celebrate 10-year reunion, 20-year, 30-year. That's a 35-year reunion, I guess. Mm-hmm. If I've got my math done correctly.
Yeah.
But they look pretty fired up, and maybe they help fire up the Lions. The Lions look inspired tonight, but they need this win. They win this, they're 2-1 district play. They've got 3 tough games coming up. They've got to go to Melissa, that brand new $35 million stadium, against the number 1 ranked team in the state. Then they got Lucas Lovejoy, and both of those on the road. And then they got to play Terrell. And Terrell was tough on them last year, and Terrell was probably the surprising team in the district. Moved up from 4A to 5A and went 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. Of course, they have Coach Marvin Sedbury Jr. and Marvin Sedbury Sr. on their staff with ties to Greenville. Coach Sedbury was here 3 times, and he knows how to win. And his son, they're a great combination, and that'll be a tough game. So the Lions got to get this one finished and then get ready for some real tough games.
Yeah, no, for sure. And a win here will do a lot for their confidence, especially if it stays on the same track it's looking like, and it's a huge win. Last time we were at home, we saw them put up 63 points. I'm not going to say they're going to hit that tonight, but it sure would be cool if they did.
Well, they are moving the football, and Poteet's kind of down right now. Poteet used to be one of the better teams in the district. They finished last year with a string of losses, and this year they start out with a string, and they've lost 9 in a row, and the last one was to Greenville. And I think the Greenville people who were there thought the Lions should have and probably could have won that game were it not for a couple of bad breaks. And maybe the seniors that were on the team last year remember that game, and it's maybe payback time.
Yeah, for sure. And with it being homecoming and everything, too, they definitely want to get the win. So, but, yeah, no, definitely a lot of points put up on the board, a lot of stats for the Lions, and been a great game thus far.
If you're a Lion faithful, this is what you want to see on homecoming.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to lose on homecoming. And unfortunately for the Lions, they play in more homecomings than a lot of teams because other teams like to play Greenville for homecoming.
Yeah. But, that also gives you added motivation to hopefully get to spoil their homecoming.
Yeah, the Pirates would love to spoil Greenville's homecoming, but they're going to have to move the ball a little better than they did that first half. Outside of that one run, you take that one run out, and they've got 11 yards. In how many plays? A lot of it is Greenville's just ball control. Greenville's got the ball running off all these plays. I mean, these scoring plays, that's 18. That's 30 plays that the Greenville Lions had the ball and 0 plays that the Pirates had the ball. In this day and age, with the quick striking offenses, if you can keep the ball, run down the clock, it's a big advantage to you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, David, I appreciate you coming in and spending this time with us and giving us all these stats and everything. It brings a whole new depth to the broadcast. So we appreciate you coming by.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot more fun to come up here at halftime and when it's like this than some of the other games.
Oh, yeah, a lot better when you can say, well, we've got 200 yards versus, well, we got 20 yards. So I thank you for coming by and enjoy talking to you
if
as
it's
always.
like this next week against Melissa, whoa.
Oh, boy, that'll be something. So, well, I'm Bentley Love here with David Claiborne, sorry about that, folks. I draw blanks every once in a while.
I do that myself sometimes.
Yes, sir. And that was our Stats halftime show. So we're going to take a quick break here, and then here in a few minutes we'll be back with the Lions halftime show.
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. GEUS, delivering high-speed internet to our hometown for more than 20 years.
team in the world. The award-winning Flaming Flashes. The Flashes are under the direction of Ms. Heather Breaker and Ms. Anna Strickland. The 23-24 Flaming Sox officers are Major Fiona Dixon, daughter of Joycelyn Dixon
And now, 2023-2024 Lion Pride Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. Matt
ladies and gentlemen. We are back here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium for the second half of football after a wonderful performance by your Lion Pride band. And, it's homecoming, like we've mentioned. Great score so far in favor of the Lions. We told you a little bit about the temperature pregame, see if it's dropped anymore. Archer, what's it looking like there for us?
Yeah, it looks like it dropped about 7 degrees on us. I did feel a little chilly outside when I was saying hello to family, and it's looking like 62 right now at the second half kickoff.
So 62 degrees, that is a huge difference from 92, and I know I am loving it. So, the Lions received to start the game, so they're going to kick off here in the second half, and it is going to be Reagan Goggins out there again doing the kicking. So they'll be giving the ball back to the Pirates, but the defense for the Lions has been pretty good so far. I don't know if y'all remember, but I believe the Pirates had about 69 yards of offense or so in that first half, so nothing too crazy. The Lions have been keeping it under control. So a big kick by Goggins. Well, not quite a big kick, but a good kick by Goggins as it's picked up by number 19, but he's taken down by several Lions. I'm not quite sure who that was on the tackle.
It looked like he was originally grabbed by Cade Coles. As you said, I wasn't sure who got the final tackle, but Cade Coles held him still while they got him.
Yeah, I saw Sampson around there somewhere, but I'm not sure if he was the one who got him down. But if he was, I wouldn't be surprised because, like we mentioned, he's always making plays.
Absolutely. So I hope this big play defense can come in handy in the start of the second half with us. 11:56 on the clock after that 4-second runoff from the kickoff.
So we're going to see Hobbs back in at quarterback, of course, again for the Pirates. And, he's been trying to get something going so far. Not quite gotten a whole lot going, but he's going to hope to get something here as he hands it off to his running back, who's quickly met by a lot of resistance from the Lions and might pick up a yard, I think they're going to say. So that'll bring up about 2nd and 9 for the Pirates.
Yep, and it looks like he was tackled by the mysterious man 26, which turns out to be Khalil Parker.
So we have confirmed that it is Khalil there on the edge. And, Khalil, he's been a big player all year for the Lions, and he's been tormenting this Pirates defense just like every other week. So we see Hobbs motioning to his lineman, steps back, he takes the snap, he hands it off to his running back. That's Tinsley, and Tinsley picks up about 2 or 3 yards there. So a little bit of yardage, but nothing too crazy for him, and that's going to bring up about 3rd down and 6, it looks like.
Yeah, and he was once again wrapped up by number 26, Khalil Parker, who's made, I could only assume, about 7 tackles tonight. That's unofficial from me, but he's been all around the ball tonight.
Yeah, huge player for Parker so far this evening. So we see Hobbs back again. He takes the snap. He's dropping back, not going to hand off this time. He's going to throw. He's got his receiver wide open. That was number 18, Nile Rivers, but unfortunately was not able to come up with the ball. Nile, that's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, Nile, and even the last name Rivers, just goes together.
It does. It goes together really well. Goes together like cheese and crackers. That's a reference there to Bob Muty. That's one of his favorite saying, cheese and crackers. So he's not in the booth with us tonight, but we can make references to him.
Absolutely, and I'm sure he's tuned in a little bit tonight.
Yeah, so that is going to be, I believe, number 17, Oscar Guzman, back to punt for the Pirates. So Lions are looking like they're going to get the ball back with about 10 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
And it looks like, Bentley, there was a penalty on that play, and it looks like maybe an illegal formation of some sort because there was still time on the clock. But that ref threw a penalty, and I'm not sure where it was. It looks like it was waved off, matter of fact. Sorry about that.
All good. I didn't even see it. That was a good eye by you. And he's going to – oh, maybe it's not waved off. They're trying to figure out what they're wanting to do. And it is going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and walk it off. So it's going to bring up still 4th down, I believe, but it's going to be 4th down and a lot more.
If they don't know what's going on, we definitely don't.
So it's going to bring up about 4th and 11, 4th and 12 or so. So a big punt here for Guzman as he fumbles the punt and is met by a lot of Lions. And it's going to be a quick pickup by number 28, Ruben Enriquez, I believe, as he's going to run it all the way back to about the 22-yard line. There is a flag on the play, so we'll see what that is. But a great defensive effort by the Lions and a great pickup by Ruben Enriquez, the senior linebacker there.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the coaches want him to stay away from that one, but it kind of just looked like he really wanted that one.
Well, and you know, when it's right there at your feet, you don't always have a choice. Sometimes you just got to pick it up and seize the opportunity. And it is looking like it's going to be on the defense. So we're going to see what the official starting is for the Lions here in just a second as they trot out onto the field. So, and I don't know if y'all can hear it, but the band is down, or the drum line is down on the track, putting up quite the cadence right now, keeping everybody interested while they're walking this off for the Lions. They're going to push them back a little ways, as it looks like they're going to start right at about the 42-yard line or so. Excuse me, 38-yard line. So we see Johnson take the snap, drop back, and he's got a man wide open. That's Peyton, and he's going to drop it right in for a Lions touchdown. And that's going to bring 3 touchdowns on the night for Peyton. Talk about a night for the junior wide receiver. 2 through the air and 1 running.
Yeah, I mean, he's been all over the place. We saw on that kickoff, he just wants those touchdowns tonight. So it's good to see him getting in the end zone constantly as we prepare for this PAT attempt.
Yeah, it's going to be Nick Just back to kick, and Fifield takes the snap. Just kicks. It's up, and it's good. So that's going to bring us to 35-3 with 10:15 left on the clock in the third quarter. And quick turn of events for the Lions, almost like they started the second half with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's great to hear when you force a punt the first drive on defense and you automatically get it on your own 38. You got to score quick on that one.
Yeah, definitely. And let the offense get out there, run real quick, and then get down and get some water and get recuperated for the rest of this game. So big lead right now, up by 32. But, you know, we've seen last time we were home, we saw a big win by the Lions. So maybe we'll see an even bigger one tonight.
Well, you never know. Some coaches don't like to run up the score. But as you said, last time we saw Coach Jackson allow 63 to go up. We will only wonder how much we'll put up tonight.
Well, you know, I believe the most points ever scored at this stadium, I think I heard from Mr. Jarvis, was either 70 or 72. So it was against a game in Paris, or against a game against Paris. So we'll see if they try to hit that tonight. I mean, still a lot of points to go to even get really anywhere near talking about that. But it's interesting. They're got 35 up with almost the whole second half to go.
Yeah, and I'm almost expecting a pooch kick here from Goggins, maybe even a deep kick. As, you know, we're up pretty high. We shouldn't see an onside kick if we're not trying to run up the score too fast.
So we do see Goggins go ahead and kick it right over the middle as it's going to bounce, and it's going to be muffed by the player for Poteet. It looked like he jumped on it, but at the same time, a couple Lions got there quick too. So he did go ahead and get on it. And I believe that was number 6, Traylon James, who originally muffed it but was able to still jump on it. So good for the senior linebacker.
Yeah, that was almost a pooch middle from Reagan Goggins there. Put it right in between the first line and the second line where everybody's kind of, you know, thinking somebody else will get that ball. And it's good for the Lions to rush on and get a good stop right there.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous thing there because, yeah, like you said, when it's right there in the middle, it's like whose ball is it? And somebody's got to figure it out and jump on it quick. So we do see Hobbs back in the shotgun formation again as he's going to take the snap and hand it off to his running back. And that is number 4, Cameron Williams, who tries to get around the edge. He might have gotten a yard or so on the play, but nothing real big cooking there for him.
Yeah, it's nice to see Williams in on offense also as he's been making plays all over the defensive side of the field. And I'm not seeing Tinsley at the moment, but looks like we're going to an empty set from the Poteet Pirates right now.
Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and spot the ball right at about the 39-yard line. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 to go. And we're going to see Hobbs back deep to take this snap. And he takes it. He drops back. He's surveying the field. He's going to go ahead and try and run with it, but he's going to be met by, it looked like Josh Brock, who I believe, if I'm correct. Yeah, Josh Brock on the play, who let him get a couple yards, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, Brock's one of those players that, you just don't expect it from him, and he just shows up in your face and makes a big play.
Yeah, and he's just a junior, so still a lot of room to grow, and I could really see him and Cody Waldrop being two of the big guys on that line next year, especially after Parker graduates.
Absolutely, and the work ethic from those two men right there, Waldrop and Brock, are really well.
So we see Hobbs take a little bit of a low snap. He tries to get around the edge, but Parker was there waiting on him and said, no, sir, not this time, as he's going to take him down for a sack there, and going to bring up 4th down and about, we'll call it 7.
And you think, Bentley, is this maybe the time to start going for those 4th down conversions, as you're down 32 points with, 8 minutes and a quarter left?
I think you have to. I think you got to go for it here. And I know you need a lot of yardage, and really it says probably don't go for it, but in a high school game, you kind of got to go for it. So Hobbs takes the snap, drops back. He is met by a lot of pressure. He's signaling for his receiver to run. He gets the throw off, and it's almost intercepted again by Renner, but unfortunately not. However, that will be a turnover on downs, and really it's kind of better for the Lions that it wasn't intercepted. Gave them a lot better field position.
Yeah, and there's some extracurricular activities going on right now. It looks like Hobbs is very upset at Sampson and number 16, Caleb Yost. I don't know what went on there. We were focusing on that pass. Let's hope it's nothing too bad.
Yeah, and we did see a few coaches get involved, but looks to seem like it's going to be all right. But so we'll see here in just 1 second if there's anything going to come of that. But I think it's going to be all right. While we got a second, Archer's going to give us a few scores here.
Yeah, it looks like from what I can see here at halftime, Melissa's up 26-14 on Denison. And in the third quarter, Lovejoy is still continuing that fight, up 62-0 on Crandall, as well as Terrell being up 28-0 on Princeton.
Yeah, I thought the Crandall-Lovejoy game might be a game, but it's looking like the Melissa-Denison game could be a game. So we see Johnson take the snap and hand it off to, I believe, Greg Washington, as he's going to fight for about 3 yards or so on that play.
Yeah, you were talking about the Melissa game. We might need to watch what Denison's been doing and try and recreate that when we play them, because we're going to have to win a few games coming up if we want to make playoffs here.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what happens there. We'll keep you all posted on that. Don't you worry. So we're going to see Johnson drop back again, and he's got, I believe that's Washington in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it off to Washington. Washington's going to bounce around the edge, and he's not going to get a whole lot of yardage, but he's going to get about 3 on the play. And excuse me, I'm sorry about that. That's Jaden Johnson there. Got 23 and 25. They look a little similar on the field.
Yeah, they do. And number 4 and number 6 have been making plays all over. They look pretty similar down there.
So we see Johnson take the snap. He drops back. He's met by some pretty good pressure there as he's taken down for a loss. It's going to be a sack there, and I think the first time we've seen them make have a sack on the night.
Yeah, they've had a lot of pressure, but Johnson's just been able to escape it most of the time, and number 6 just comes up and sneaks up on him that time. And it looks like the Lions are just going to go for it, On the opponent's half, it's a good chance to just make a play.
Yeah, so it's 4th and 11. Johnson is back, and I kind of wonder if they're going to try and draw him off sides here, but we'll see because they got a long way to go to pick up a first down here.
They sure do.
But Johnson takes the snap, drops back, and he's scrambling. He's trying to make something of it, and it looks like he's going to. He's going, and he's got all the open areas. Johnson is going to run it all the way in from about the 41 for a touchdown. That is a 41-yard touchdown run there. And go ahead and throw 6 more points up there on the board for him.
Yeah, man, and we might throw them up on the board, but sadly for those JROTC guys down there, they are going to be doing a lot of push-ups here tonight.
Yeah, they're up to, I'm not even sure. We'll try and add it up and let you know how many they do at the end of the night. But they're fixing to do 41 of, well, hopefully they're fixing to do 42 of them. as we see Fifield in to hold once again and just back to kick. Hey, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Archer, how many has he made so far tonight?
If my math is correct, that's 6 for just tonight.
6 for 6. That's pretty dang good numbers for the junior kicker.
Yeah, the most I ever made in a game was 7, and I mean, we've already seen Just break that once, so I mean, one more, and we'll see him get that again.
Yeah. I was going to say, those are kind of like Archer O'Neal numbers. So 42-3 here. Lions ahead by a lot. I think we're going to go ahead and take a break here for just 1 second and get a drink of water, and then we'll come back for the kickoff. And we're back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. I don't know if y'all were counting, but I think he did all 42. So we're going to see a short little kick here by Yost. And haven't seen Yost kick yet this season. It's going to bounce around, and I think it's going to be recovered by the Pirates right at about the 50, maybe even the Lions 49.
Yeah, that definitely looked unintentional from Yost. I don't know if they've been trying him out at practice, or maybe he just asked Coach if he could do it tonight, but looks like he almost split the kicking tee into 2.
Yeah, and but it does look like they're going to go ahead and mark it right down at the 50-yard line. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Pirates from the 50. And Hobbs is going to be back. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to, I believe that's Tinsley, as Tinsley's going to bust through the line, and he's going to get all the way down to about the 41. And that's going to bring up, I believe, 2nd and 1, maybe the 42, and bring up 2nd and 2. We'll see here in just 1 second.
Yeah, it looks like the cheerleaders are down there prepping their giant yelling cones for all the little kids with all the little trinkets and toys they like to pass out.
Archer, I believe the technical term for that is megaphone.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
So Hobbs takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, but his running back fumbles it, jumps on the play, and it is whistled dead. So what was a big pickup initially was not completely erased, but somewhat erased, and is going to bring up about 3rd and 6 for the Pirates there.
Yeah, maybe that was one of those ones that we saw early in the game where the quarterback tried to hold it just a little too long and just miscommunicated with the running back there.
Yeah, so we're going to see Hobbs take the snap here. Hey, it's a little bit of a low snap, but no big deal for Hobbs. He finds his receiver, number 7, who hauls it in and is making some headway here. Throws a mean stiff arm, but luckily he was taken down by, had some help there. I think that was number 20, Jaden Gibson, that ended up taking him down.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard number 7's name today. Jaden Walker, the junior, making a big play with a great catch for a good amount of yardage on that play right there. As Hobbs throws it out to Tinsley, it looks like, who makes another 9 yards on that play.
And he took down the man holding the chains. That wasn't very nice. He broke the chain, it looked like, for a second, but I bet they'll be able to pop it on, hopefully.
And I'm sorry, that was number 13, the mysterious man on the other team that we were never able to identify.
So we're looking at Hobbs here, 2nd and 2. He hands it off to Tinsley. Tinsley gets around the edge. I think he's going to pick up the 1st down. It's a little hard to see quite where the 1st down marker is, as it's broken, but nonetheless, we still got the big target up top, so that's still good.
Yeah, I don't know if you said it, but I'm unsure who made that tackle. It's a little far from me. There was a pole in my way, but let's see what happens on this one right here, Bentley.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell either. So we got Hobbs taking the snap. He's going to run to his right as he's met. Well, I thought he was going to be met around the edge, but it looks like he's going to get into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night for the Poteet Pirates. So they're going to go ahead and get at least 1 touchdown on the board. It's 42-9 right now. We'll see if they can make it 42-10 here in just a second as they're going to trot. I'm going to assume Oscar Guzman on to do the kick.
Yeah, he just outran Jaden Gibson right there. Jaden Gibson made a diving attempt but was unsuccessful on that to stop the quarterback Hobbs.
So it's going to be number 7, Jaden Walker, doing the holding there. That's the third time I believe we've called his name tonight. Not too many, but a couple. Kick is up, and it's good. It was almost blocked by number 3, Aiden Lewis, but he wasn't quite there quick enough. So that's going to bring your score to 42-10. Lions up on top.
Yeah, and that kick was made by Rocco Reyna. We've seen kicking switches from Rocco Reyna and Eric Robles tonight, 37 and 38. So maybe they've got kind of a dual kicking system tonight.
Yeah, and we've seen the Lions run that out there a few times, dual kicking system. Just typically handles the PATs, but they let Goggins handle the kickoffs. So who knows? Sometimes they do that in the NFL too, though.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see just a backup kicker come out there, sometimes for fun. As who was it, Coles that came out, or Yost? Yost came out for Greenville, so maybe that's just what they're doing out there tonight.
Get him a few reps every once in a while. So we're going to see Poteet trot out here in just a second. Kicking off, of course, I believe, from the 40. And looks like we got a couple guys deep for the Lions. If I'm not mistaken, that's number 4, Isaiah Williams, and number 10, Dadrian Payton, deep to receive the kick. We'll see if it gets all the way back to him. If not, right in front of him, we've got number 2, Caleb Hale. And, yeah, it does look like they're going to try an onside kick maybe. So we're going to see here what, if anything, comes of that. And I think that's a good call if they're trying to stay competitive in this game tonight.
Let's see how they split up. Normally you can tell from their split up how they go, but it does look like an even split up with a deep run from the kicker, so I could only expect another touchback from the kicker here tonight.
And he's going to go ahead and do a little pop-over kick there as it's going to be fair caught by number 82, Nathan Michelle there. So looks like the Lions are going to be starting right at about their own 36 or so.
Yeah, and that was a good fair catch from Michelle there. Those plays are scary, those pop-over kicks, when you get them nice, those returners are right in your face before you catch that ball. So it's a pretty dangerous play and nice and smart to call that fair catch.
Yeah, we saw Williams get popped on a crossing route earlier, and Michelle could have gotten popped right there too. So good decision by the senior tight end to fair catch that ball.
Absolutely.
So we are going to see Johnson back in the shotgun formation. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to his running back, and his running back's going to dance around. I believe that is number 25, Greg Washington, and I think they're going to go ahead and give him the first down there.
Yeah, and it looked like he was pulled down by the ankle by Kevin Long, number 24, the senior from Poteet.
Yeah, so we are going to see Johnson back in the shotgun again. He's going to hand it off to Washington a second time in a row. And Washington's going to push his way forward for about 6 yards or so.
Yep, a lot of big guys from Poteet getting up off the ground. When those guys run at the ball, it's hard to get past them.
Yeah, for sure. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 4, I believe. Scoreboard says 3. I'm going to call it 4. And we're going to see Johnson back again. He's going to hand it off, or fake the handoff to Washington, try and make something of it himself. He's going to break loose there, and he's taken down at the 30 by number 9. I'm not sure who number 9 is.
Looks like Jabari Williams, one that made another touchdown-saving tackle earlier in the game, makes another one right here on this one because Anthony Johnson had his eyes in the end zone there.
Yeah, and if Williams hadn't been there, he was definitely going to end up in the red. So, see first down and 10 from the 29-yard line as Johnson looks to the sideline trying to get his call from the coach. He gets it, and he's looking at his line. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to his running back. His running back's dancing around. I believe that's Washington. He gets right through the middle and is going to push all the way forward for about 6 yards or so. We're going to call it 2nd and 4 coming up here as the Lions continue to move quick.
Yeah, it looks like we're back into that fast motion offense we saw late in the second quarter. And looks like Michelle switches over to the right side as well as the running back.
So he hands it off to Washington. Washington almost gets around the edge, but is met by a couple defenders there. And looks like he might get the first down. Otherwise, it's going to be probably about 3rd and inches. Well, nope. I was definitely wrong. That's third and a lot more than inches. About 3rd and 3.
Looks like an awkward spot from the ref there.
So a handoff again to Washington. He's met by a lot of defenders and is tackled for a loss. It looked like he was considering pitching it to Johnson, but decided against it.
You know, it wouldn't have been a bad thought from him there. Johnson was open, but I don't think Johnson was quite ready for it. It looked more like he was saving himself.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And it would have been interesting if they'd pitched it to Johnson and there'd been a receiver with a crossing route. Johnson might could have hit somebody for a touchdown there.
Absolutely. We know those trick plays that we've already got. Imagine a fake one.
Yeah. So Johnson back there. Going to go ahead and go for it again, which we see it quite often in high school football. So 4th and 3, clock running, just shy of a minute 45. And Johnson takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. He's going to get around the edge. He's going to be free almost, as he's going to get all the way down to about the 7 or 8 and bring up 1st and goal for a big gain by the Lions. That's true. A little bit of information here from Matthew Middleton. I don't know if any of y'all are Big Bang Theory fans out there, but Sheldon Cooper would tell you that 4th down is always in your favor to go for it.
You know, you're never not going to make it if you don't go.
That's true. That's true. You know, I think there's a famous man who once said, I don't remember who it is, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, so they took the shot, and they made it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, matter of fact, as Matthew Middleton just talked about, the last time that Patrick Mahomes played a high school football game was actually against the Mesquite Poteet Pirates in a loss, which you may seem as surprising as Patrick Mahomes being a 2-time MVP and 2-time Super Bowl champ. Lost to Mesquite Pirates just a few years ago in 2013.
You know, you say a few, and it feels like a few, but that was 10 years ago.
It was. You know, I was 8, but it was just a few years ago. I still remember it.
Oh, were you watching?
I was not watching that, but I remember when I was 8.
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you. Was not watching the game. Honestly, well, probably wasn't at a Lions game, but. Oh, man. You know, we were commenting earlier about how when Poteet pulled up into the parking lot, I think they brought about 14 buses. And if you saw any bit of their band is huge. So I think that's probably took up a lot of them, but it doesn't appear they're in the crowd anymore. I think they packed their bags and went home. So interesting.
They did have a nice performance, but now they are packed up and gone, it seems.
Yeah, so we see Johnson take the snap, handoff to Washington. Washington gets around for about 5 yards or so, as it looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 2. So, you know, I figured it was time to get back to football since they decided to run another play.
Yeah, that was a weird, awkwardly long break, and it looks like they're just going to hold out until the 4th quarter comes along right here.
Yeah, so we're looking at 42-10 as both teams trot off the field. And that's going to swap sides here. So they're going to go all the way down to the other end zone. And, you know, the refs might have been hoping they were going to go ahead and try and punch it in there so they wouldn't have to walk it so far.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a rough walk for them. And as for the players,
I think while they're making their way on down, we'll go ahead and take a quick little break here as Matthew is showing y'all how empty the Poteet bleachers are across the way. And we are back here as the refs are almost all the way down to the 2-yard line.
yeah, you know, that 96-yard walk, I mean, it's a good one.
Yeah, you know, 96 yards. My math isn't the greatest, but I believe that is 288 feet, if I'm correct.
That would be pretty impressive if you are, and I'm unsure about that one.
I'm going to do the math real quick. 188. So my math was right. He's going to fake the handoff and run it in. I think they're going to call that a touchdown. I'm not quite sure who that was.
It almost looked like Michelle in there.
Yeah, and Michelle's listed as one of their backup quarterbacks, so I wouldn't be too surprised.
Which Anthony Johnson's on the field, so I think he's playing H-back instead of Michelle.
Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and mark it down 1 yard shy. Michelle's going to try and run it in again. And they're going to go ahead and signal it another Lion touchdown. So that's going to bring them to 48-10. And they're going to trot just out there, I believe, to try and kick another one. So see if he can tie Archer's record of 7. He's beaten it once this season, but he'll see if he gets another chance here.
Let's just hope he keeps his streak for tonight going. Let's worry about the records later,
So we're going to see a hold here by, and it is blocked. So maybe I spoke too soon. I apologize about that, Just. But a great defensive effort there by the Poteet Pirates to get a hand up on that one.
Yeah, I'm unsure what was wrong with that kick, honestly. It looked like it came off of his foot nice, but when it got in the air, it looked pretty low, a little to the left, and that hand was just right in the right spot.
Yeah, and, it would have been pretty cool to see him go perfect tonight, but I don't think they're sweating it too terribly much because that touchdown there still put them up by 38 points. So they're sitting in a pretty comfortable place. We see the Greenville cheerleaders head over to talk to the Poteet cheerleaders. Typically, the bands go over and interact too, and so do the flashes or the drill teams. But I don't think we're going to see any interaction from the two bands tonight. They might run over and catch them before they get on the bus and get out of here, but it's not looking like it.
And it looks like Goggins is taking his steps back. It looks like possibly another pooch kick. I'm looking at 24 over here on the sideline on the 37, And it actually goes deeper to the 20-yard line.
That is going to be Nile Rivers with the catching it there, as there's a whole pride of Lions that takes him out of bounds. It looked like number 40, Cade Coles, and number 18, Jamarian Hamilton there making the play.
Yeah, and it looked like Rivers was definitely keeping his arm on that ball this time, as we saw him fumble the ball earlier on a kickoff last time. So it was good to see him hold on tight to that one, and as he runs over to the offensive huddle getting ready for this drive.
Yeah, Nile Rivers is just a sophomore, so I can only imagine we'll see him probably next couple years, and he'll probably grow into a big part of that offense starting at receiver as just a sophomore. So a fun name to say, and look forward to seeing him next year for sure.
Absolutely, and with district realignment next year, you can only hope we get to see him next year. But who knows what the district will realign to next year.
So we are going to see Hobbs back deep to take the snap. He takes it, it's a little bit low, but he fakes the handoff to his running back. He tries to get around the edge, is met by some resistance, and gets a few yards, but is taken down by a whole crowd of Lions.
Absolutely right, Bentley. And I saw Josh Brock in there once again, and Edwin Garcia as well, number 9, making a big play on defense.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Josh Brock is way underrated, and he's a good player, but he gets hidden a lot by Waldrop and Parker there. And but when he gets his chances to make the plays, he makes them.
Absolutely, and I think it's that he forces everybody to go outside, and that's why Waldrop and Khalil get those plays.
So he's going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw it, and it's almost snagged by Nile Rivers there, but threw into double coverage and was not quite able to take it in.
Yeah, he's probably wishing he caught that one. We saw him make a bunch of great catches in warm-ups this afternoon, but it looks like he just was unable to get that one. Maybe he felt the pressure on his back.
Well, I felt the pressure all the way up here, so I'm sure he felt it down there.
Absolutely, and that was great coverage by number 7, Reagan Goggins, as well as Renner coming over to help from the safety position.
Yeah, and we say Goggins and Renner's name quite often, and those two guys working together, they're almost unstoppable. So we see Hobbs take the snap, a little bit low, but he gets around the edge, or tries to, cuts back. He's looking for a gap, can't quite find one, but I think he found one, and he's going to get all the way up as Parker's chasing him, and he might not get stopped. Oh, but he does by number 3, Aiden Lewis.
Yeah, Aiden Lewis made a big play on there. It looked like Renner was right behind him, ready to make the same one. And I also saw a little bit of extracurricular activity from number 50 on the Lions. Travell Oakley, I'm unsure what he was doing down there, but it didn't look great for the Lions right there.
Yeah, and Travell was hurt for the first 4 or 5 games of the season, but since he's been there, he's been making a pretty big difference, which has been good to see. So we see Hobbs take the snap. He hands it off to his running back, who tries to dance around and get some room. He does get some room, and he's going to drag a couple Lions all the way to about the 7-yard line with him there.
Yeah, it looked like he was finally tackled by number 5. I only know him as Kinkin Blakely out there.
Kinkin, interesting.
One of the guys we don't see quite often out there on the defense, but when he gets later, he definitely gets his reps, and he's clearly making some plays out there.
For sure. So it's going to bring up 1st and goal from the 9-yard line as we're going to see Hobbs take the snap, hand it off to his running back. That's Tinsley, who gets around, and he gets a few yards there on the play. So that's going to bring up 2nd and goal from, I'm going to call it the 7.
Yeah, and it looks like Sampson's lost his helmet, so he's about to come off, but he's almost fighting or stumbling. I'm unsure, but he's not too happy about losing his helmet on this one. So Jaden Johnson runs in to replace him for this play right here. It looks like somebody called a timeout. I'm unsure of which team.
Looked like they signaled for a Poteet timeout, but the Greenville coaches were out there first. So make of that what you wish, I suppose. I think we ought to take a timeout with them here for just a second and get a drink of water.
Introducing the new, better, fast GEUS commercial internet, the ultimate accelerator for your success. With speeds up to 500 megabytes, your productivity will soar to new heights. Power up your operations with GEUS's reliable and hometown service. Join the future of businesses' connectivity with GEUS's commercial internet. Visit our website at www.geus.org or call 903-457-2800 to supercharge your connection.
All right, folks, and we are back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium just as they are wrapping up their little meeting there in the timeout and heading back out onto the field as we see the Poteet Pirates trying to punch one in here, like I mentioned, with 2nd and goal from the 7. So we'll see if they can be successful here and turn that down from a 48-10 to 48-16. So he hands it off and gets a few yards, but not a whole bunch.
Yeah, it looked like he was almost tackled by a coalition of Lions there.
Coalition, I like that one, Archer. Pulling out the big words.
Well, I would love to take that one I would love to take the credit for that one, but my good man Matthew Middleton gave me that name for the Lions.
Yeah, and that was a good one there. So we're going to see Hobbs take the snap here. He's going to run it himself. Finds a gap there, and he's going to go ahead and trot right on into the end zone, or some people might say amble on into the end zone, as there wasn't really a whole lot of pressure there on him. So he just kind of worked his way in there himself. No big deal for him.
Absolutely, and he's been very patient as a running back today. Obviously a quarterback, but when he's rushed the ball, he has been very patient finding those gaps in between the linemen and made some big plays off of it. For example, that one right there.
Yeah, it's all about finding the hole and making your way through it. So we're going to see number 41, that is Armando Moreno, come on and kick for the Pirates here. And he's a right-footed kicker. He's going to get his kick blocked, so that's going to bring the score to 48-16, a 32-point lead as there are several flags on the play. Helmets coming off. And guys getting separated quickly as the Pirates players keep making their way towards the Greenville players. And it's getting a little serious here. So we're going to see what happens as they're talking. And the Lions players were pretty much just trying to get on their way, get out of there. But the Pirates players were escalating the situation.
Yeah, I don't want to point fingers, but it almost looked like Travell Oakley, the one I had mentioned earlier, doing some extracurricular activities, was doing it again on this one.
Well, and Archer, I didn't see that myself, but if what you're saying is correct, which you don't lie, so I'm sure it is, Travell might not see much more time in this game, and that's a little bit of a shame, given that he's a senior. But you know, you can't have something like that out there on the game, especially when you're up by 32 points. And the refs are talking it over, seeing what's going to happen. Who knows? They might throw some people out, but I kind of would be a little surprised if we see that. But it wouldn't be the craziest thing.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned on that PAT, I'm unsure if it was blocked or if it was just a little bit of a low shot.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure myself. But while we have a little time, Archer, why don't you give us some score updates?
Yeah, so right now in the third quarter, it's looking like Melissa has extended their lead a little bit to 33-14 over the Denison, Yellow Jackets, I believe. And then Lovejoy has kept it pretty cool at 69-0 over Crandall in the fourth. And Terrell has gone up 42-8 over the Princeton Panthers.
So several blowouts. One decently close game, but a lot of blowouts around the district so far. And, so we got 48-16 here at home, and that's a 32-point lead. 33-14, that's a 29-point lead in Denison. 69-0 in Lucas Lovejoy, that's a 69-point lead. And then we've got a 34-point lead, Terrell over Princeton. So, we're wondering, if Crandall's missing their quarterback or something, because he was lighting it up against the Lions last week and not lighting it up at all against Lovejoy this week. So who knows what that deal is.
Yeah, and it's pretty scary when you see competitive teams losing to even better teams. It's pretty scary for the rest of the season. Looks like 50 probably, Travell. Somebody just got ejected.
Yeah, so we've got an ejection here. I kind of think it's going to be Oakley for the Lions. So if that's the case, his night is going to be over. And not 100% sure, because I see Oakley still standing on the sideline. But we'll see for sure what the situation is here.
Yeah, I'm unsure about that one. Sometimes I do wish these high school refs had mics.
Yeah, and we saw a ref, I believe it was last week in Crandall, who actually had a mic, and it was pretty nice, especially seeing how we were sitting in the bleachers last week, which was a little different, but it was bearable until the fourth quarter when it started blowing and it got really cold.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been the same tonight, as it is chilly out there. You can see hoods going up and people getting out of the bleachers. And it looks like there's a little bit of a holdup still on this kickoff, as both teams are sort of huddled up, except for the kicker out there teeing up his ball.
Yeah, he's going to get his work in regardless and make sure what he needs to be done is done. And that is number 37, Rocco Reyna. And, I respect that about Rocco. He's going to get out there and get the job done regardless of what's going on.
Absolutely. When you're in a set with, I see 3 kickers now, you got to make what you can out of this. And it looks like the last kicker that kicked that PAT was a freshman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe you're right. And it's getting him some practice early, which is good on the big stage. They've got 4 kickers on their roster. Andrew Aracena, the number 9, the freshman. Number 43, the freshman. Armando Moreno, number 41, the senior. Number 38, Eric Robles, the junior. And number 37, Rocco Reyna, the junior. So it is going to be Reyna doing this kick here. And looks like they might be trying to pull off an onside kick here, as everybody is down and ready to run.
And as I mentioned earlier, the setup shows they've got 6 on that side. And it looks like it's going to be a false start. Or no, a timeout. I don't believe there is false starts on a kickoff.
I didn't think so either, but they blew the whistles as soon as those Pirates.
There's an offsides, but it was confusing out there. But as I said, I think it's a timeout by the Greenville Lions, who saw that and were not prepared for it.
So we're going to see what happens here in a second. They're going to talk it over, figure out what they want to do, how they want to attack this, and get it out there to see what they can make of it. Like I mentioned, 48-16 lead, 7 minutes left, and big score with not a lot of time left.
And it looks like almost Johnson's on the hands team, it seems, because he's got his helmet ready to go out for the hands. But instead, it looks like they may put on Peyton, maybe.
Oh, but then he walks back out there, so who knows what the Lions are going to do. We'll see in a second, but that's something that's cool about this Randy Jackson team is just because you're a quarterback doesn't mean you're a quarterback. You can play several places.
Absolutely, and I mean, even last year, not under Randy Jackson, but we saw Anthony Johnson come in at linebacker a few times, so there's no telling what Anthony Johnson could be up to in the season.
When I remember seeing that last year and thinking, I didn't know he played linebacker, but I remember him doing pretty good at it too. I mean, he is standing at a whopping 6'3", 220, so I wouldn't want to get hit by that.
Absolutely not.
Be like, for me, getting hit by a truck practically.
And it looks like they come out in the same set the Pirates do, ready for that onside kick.
And the Lions are ready for it this time as it's going to bounce over, but it's going to bounce right into the hands of a line player. We'll see who that is in a second. I believe that's number 15, Tyler Trexel, the 5'8", 145-pound junior defensive back.
But it looks like Lions may get a little bit more yardage because there was definitely an offsides that was flagged on that play. The kicking team was a little too excited to get that onside kick.
Yeah, well, and they're when they're down by this much, they're just trying anything they can to keep it going. But unfortunately, you can't jump off sides. That is not allowed. So they're going to throw a flag on that almost every time. Sometimes stuff gets missed, but they've been pretty good tonight.
Yeah, they have been pretty good. I don't think we've seen too many missed calls out here.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen too many calls that are that we don't agree with either. So it's been nice and been pretty good so far. So we are going to see, I believe that is Michelle back there to take the snap. He's going to hand it off, and running back's making some pretty good ground. So I wonder how much more of Anthony Johnson we'll see as I see him on the sideline signaling, and I don't think we're going to see much more of him tonight. And I can't say that I blame him because when you're up this big, it's nice to get some other guys some opportunity, especially on homecoming.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a new running back in today. Looks like number 14, Deshaun Akpararo. I'm sorry for the mispronunciation on that one, but looks like he might be taking a few snaps as practice in this one. He's a senior.
Yeah, and you were pretty close. It's Akpararo, so you were almost spot on. And he's going to get away for a pretty big run here before he's hitting the legs. And going to get the first down, though, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it looked like number 21 on the defense, Marion Thomas, but that's a way to take down a big guys. Hit him low.
Yeah, they always say hit him in the knees, hit him low, and, I mean, that works, and it worked there for him.
And Bentley, it looks like Anthony Johnson is on the sideline calling plays.
I was going to say, I kind of thought I saw a headset on him, but I wasn't 100% sure. So Michelle hands it off to Akpararo. Akpararo dances around, he gets around, and he's going to go ahead and make his way, not quite to a first down, but decent amount of yardage there.
And I think I've spotted the missing headset, and it looks like Coach Jackson's headset's off, and Anthony Johnson is calling the plays.
And you can see him looking on over, trying to figure out what he's wanting them to do, but they're not quite sure of it yet. So we're going to see here what they're going to do. Oh, yeah. So they're going to wait for the play clock to run a lot more, and then they're going to run a play because they definitely have to at this point. But they're going to try and use all that clock they can because no need to try and score real quick here with this lead.
Yeah, and it looks like in the meantime, the Poteet band has made its way out of the parking lot today.
Yeah, as we see about 8 buses and 2 trailers pull out. So Akpararo dances around. He gets the first down, it looks like, but it's not really any more than the first down. It looks like they might actually mark him a yard short, but it looked like a first down to me. So, but they're on the field. They got better view of it than I do.
And, I'm wondering if Anthony Johnson if he really knows those signs as he may think he knows them, and if he'll call the right play or the wrong play on accident, but we'll have to see how it keeps going.
Yeah, regardless, he looks like he's enjoying it out there, and that's what matters here as they're having fun out there after they've pretty much secured this win.
Yeah, it's a good sign when your starting quarterback's calling plays out there.
Yeah. So Akpararo is going to be brought down for a huge loss there. So it was 3rd and 1. They're not going to get it, and it's going to bring up 4th down. and a lot, about 4th and we'll call it 7.
And it looks like the punting unit is rushing for their helmets right now as Edwin Garcia and number 33, Jonathan Sampson, run out for their helmets. And it just looks like that awkward position where if you've got a good, strong enough kicker, you can kick a field goal, or if you've got a good punter that can pin it in short, then you go for the punt.
Yeah, and we see Johnson actually run out there for the punt formation too. So takes the headset off, goes from coach to player, and runs out there. We'll see what he does, as looked like they let the clock maybe run all the way down there. Not quite sure.
Yeah, it looks like they took a delay of game, maybe a penalty that they can get to back up the ball 5 yards and give Edwin Garcia a little bit more room to punt into the short field.
Yeah, and that's good because we've seen him kick it 40 yards or so. So right now he needs to kick it about 36. So not quite to his max. But and we see Johnson come off the field, and Garcia takes the snap way back there at the 50, and it's going to go way up in the air, and they're going to stand there, wait for him to catch it, as he's going to be right at about the 13.5-yard line.
Yeah, and Garcia had the right idea right there, punting the ball as high as he possibly can to make sure it doesn't go into that end zone, because you surely don't want to give him field position on that 25.
Yeah, so 13, 13.5, 14 is a lot better for the Lions than 25 would be.
Absolutely. And I'm wondering if we'll see Hobbs back there right now, but it looks like we're not going to see Hobbs in the rest of this game, as it looks like I'm unsure if that's number 4 out there taking snaps.
I think it's well, I can't quite tell. My first thought was number 9, but I don't think it is anymore. Once he turns, we'll find out. It's number 5, Caleb Laura, their backup quarterback. And, he was in David Claiborne's write-up about players to watch out for. And we haven't seen him make a whole lot of plays, as he's not their starter, but we'll see if he's got anything to do tonight right here.
Yeah, see if he can maybe earn a little bit more of a position in this team, maybe. I'm unsure what they normally run in the games, but if they've got 3 kickers, you can only assume they've got 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, so Laura is going to fake the handoff, run it around the edge, and he tried to spin out of it, but Yost was there to reach up and grab his ankle and take him down for gained some yards, but not very many.
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more of these giant homecoming moms walk out of the stadium as this game's coming to its conclusion with 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
Yeah, and Archer, you and I talked about that, and I know it's a tradition, but I just couldn't imagine wearing something like that. I wouldn't be able to walk.
Yeah, luckily enough, as a guy, I get to just have the one on my arm and then call it a day.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So Laura gets around the edge. He makes up a lot of yardage, as brings up a first down, of course, but they need a lot more than a first down at this point in the game.
Yeah, and I'm unsure if they'll be able to get that whole lot more right now. But
yeah.
It looks like with just a minute and 30 seconds, they'll run this ball a few more times and call it quits.
So it's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. As Laura's back to take the snap, he motions for his running back to go out to the left. He's going to go ahead and run for it himself, get a couple yards, but is brought down by several lions. What was that word you used earlier?
A coalition of lions.
A coalition of lions.
Yeah, and it looks like we had a couple of our players taking each other out on that one. Number 67 ended up on the ground from, it looked like Jaden Johnson's hit.
Well, sometimes that happens, but it'll all be all right in the end.
Yeah, it's just the effort from Jaden Johnson to make a play ends up turning sometimes.
Yeah, and I just realized something. I don't think I've seen Khalil Parker on the field more than maybe once this second half. So there's a big throw there as it's intercepted by the Lions, and you can imagine that would really seal the deal on this one. I mean, it was over, but there is no shot. It just went from 0.5% chance to a 0% chance.
And that's Davenport. And if I'm not mistaken, Davenport was the same one who made the interception against Princeton a few weeks ago here at home. So that's the second one on the season for him to just about wrap up this game, as you said, Bentley, with 33 seconds.
You know what they say, some guys play better on the road, but Davenport plays great here at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that home crowd is just amazing in your ears.
Sorry about that if it got a little loud there for a second. We were moving some chairs in the booth. So 48-16 with 33 seconds left on the left on the clock.
Yep, and it looks like the Lions come out in victory formation here right now.
Yeah, which I would have expected. No need to run a play here because that knee in it is going to bring the clock way down, and doesn't even look like, even though there's a little bit more time left than on the play clock, I don't think they're going to make them run another play here.
Yeah, it'd almost be unnecessary on that one, as that's ball game for us tonight.
So last year, Poteet beat Greenville 29-27, and Greenville lost their homecoming game last year to Melissa. But this year, the tables were turned as they pull off a 48-16 victory.
Yeah, great showing from the Lions. Once again, as we've seen at home, we've played really well at home this season and hope to continue that one, as I think we're on the road next week.
We are. Next week, we're traveling to Melissa's new stadium, that new $35 million stadium. We're looking forward to getting into that press box, seeing what it's all about. And they've got a tough one on the road next week against Melissa, tough one on the road the week after that against Lovejoy, and then we're back home for senior night against Terrell. So great game tonight for the Lions, and hopefully we'll see something similar to this next week. It'll be a lot tougher for them to get something like this, but not 100% out of the question.
Absolutely, and those next three games, as you just mentioned, are all three teams that have won or are winning right now tonight by big margins. So we hope that this big margin will compare against those ones.
Yeah, and while we have a little bit of time here, Archer, why don't you give us a couple more scores?
Yeah, of course. So it looks like in the fourth quarter, I'm unsure of the time remaining, Melissa is up 40-14 on Denison. Lovejoy stayed at 69-0 on Crandall, and Terrell continued their lead at 42-8 against Princeton.
So one score changing, but for the most part, it stayed the same. So we're going to take a break here for a quick little second, and then we'll be back with some closing remarks.
New, better, fast. The same excellent reliability and hometown service you've always counted on, now with faster speeds. Whether it is streaming, gaming, surfing the web, or working from home, GEUS is connecting you to the world. Sign up today at GEUS.org or by calling 903-457-2800.
All right, folks, and we are back here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium after those words from GEUS. As, like we mentioned, the Lions pulling off a huge victory here on homecoming. Nice little change of pace. That brings them to 2-2 on the year and 16-15 overall on their last 31 homecomings. So good look for the Lions here. Archer, what really stuck out to you about this game?
Yeah, honestly, Anthony Johnson, I think he had 2 touchdowns on the ground and 3 in the air. If you have 5 touchdowns from one player, you can only expect to hopefully win on that one.
Yeah, for sure. And we don't have any of the exact numbers, but, Dadrian Payton got 3 in the end zone. So him and Johnson were definitely connecting tonight, and definitely a fun game to call. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to it, and I hope y'all enjoyed watching the game. So it was a great way to end up the homecoming festivities by all means. And, yeah, so I believe that's going to be all for us. I'm Bentley Love with Archer O'Neill and Matthew Middleton. Thanks again for tuning in tonight, and be sure to tune in next week as we will be live from Melissa Stadium.
This video has been brought to you by GEUS. GEUS is your community-owned provider for electric, internet,